Gentlemen, welcome back to a bit more Tales of Phantasia. I hope you had a pleasant day so far. If not, I hope it gets better, and it gets even better afterwards. Last time we left off, we just managed to arrive just outside the Ymir forest. So we managed to complete our quartet of earthly elemental summons, thanks to our summoner Clark being in our party. We managed to also, to our surprise, create a bond with Maxwell as well, the lord of all earthly elements. And, well, thanks to being able to clear the entirety of the mines of Moria, or at least that's what we see so far, we acquired 2 summon pack rings that were destroyed. After a little bit of hunting, we found a guy named Edward who told us how to repair them. Then we went to the Ymir forest with the help of the elves. He managed to, well, eventually get them back to their original state. And with those 2 summon pact rings, or at least one of them, we will be able to form a summoning pact with Luna. Before we go over to Luna, I would say we go briefly back to our hometown here. Well, I guess not really hometown, but Alvanista, and restock before we move on, because it smells a bit like war. I feel like we need to be well prepared. So, greetings to you. I need some more holy bottles, just stock up on those, and I also would like to get all the rune bottles at this point. So, I'm also going to be using those rune bottles on various items already, even if I'm not using the items now or yet. The reason is, I will get some various rune bottles just along the way, but right now I can have enough money to purchase them. There's not really anything else to purchase for a while, aside from maybe supplies, but we still have plenty of money for those. I'm actually curious whether you can... Oh, interesting. So, I was curious about that. Elven boots transform into nightmare boots if you use a rune bottle on it, which, well, it's basically confirms that nightmare boots are just better elven boots. That's curious, I was not aware of that. We have a question mark armor. Right, that is another mithril mesh, which we got already in the Mines of Moria, and I kind of forgot to equip them. That's a bit silly. Let's go ahead and do so. Mint cannot equip them. Clark can equip them. Oh, wait, I was on the head item, derp. Alrighty, Mint and Clark now have mithril meshes. Gives them a bit more defense. It's not a whole lot, but it's a little more. Maybe it helps. So, then we use the rune bottles on, let's see, Broom, Aquamarine, Lemon Gummy, Holy Rune, Gungnir. We could use them on a Verbenas to transform them into Agility +2. But once again, I'm probably just going to save all of those until very late. But at the same time, I need to use up at least some of the rune bottles, because we will get some of them as random drops from enemies, or just guaranteed drops even. So I kind of want to use those. This is a longsword, by the way, in case you're wondering. I'm not going to identify that for a reason that is coming up very shortly, in fact. Savory, charm bottle, lavender, sage. Alright, what I'm going to be doing here is the following. I'm going to turn this red sage into red sage. I'm going to turn the savory into red savory. Once again, those increase our TP rating by 10% of our current maximum. I'm not going to do that yet, but then I used up the remainder of the rune bottles onto more red savories, and those afterwards turn into more red sages. So, I have plenty of red sages, in fact 9 total if I use a little bit more of those. I'm going to buy, let's say, 5 more rune bottles, and that will be sufficient for now. And, well, we can restock over in Olive Village. We don't have to restock right here, because now, ladies and gentlemen, we need to go over to the Moon Reading Tower, or Moon... I don't know. I think it's Moon Reading Tower Either way, we need to visit Luna, we need to visit Midgard, and I think I'm going to go to Midgard first. Let's see what the king has to say to us. In order to get back to Midgard, we've already been there, purchasing really strong equipment at a time. We need to go back to the desert, just walk through the desert for a while, and eventually reach up north, where, well, there's Midgard. And great to see you, Hardmode. I hope you're doing well. Welcome to you. You're on the tired side, but I was accidentally up until 4 AM and only got like 4 hours of sleep. Oh boy, I at least got 6, so that doesn't sound too pleasant. Hope it's going to be fine for you, Lieutenant. So, I want to go and restock on basic supplies, which means orange gummies and all those kinds of things. Apple gummies, orange gummies. Wait, I already restocked? I guess I already restocked. Okay, that's kind of convenient. Then I don't have to worry about that. And now we are off, and the holy bottle just ran out before we even went outside. You know what? That's okay. We're just going to get into a few encounters, and we may need to have a bit more power anyway, so leveling up a little bit might be helpful. By the way, I would like to point out... Oh, I guess I could have gone to sleep as well. To do stuff. I would like to point out, I forgot that I did have the Gorgon amulet equipped on Cress, so him just not getting petrified at all is incredibly convenient. Ooh, there's 2 Delas. The Harpies on the backside, they are still dealing decent damage to our poor backline, since they don't have that much defense, plus it's hard mode, so they deal like double damage or so. But the Delas were the important ones to take out, since they kind of two-shot me last time. I was pretty surprised. It'll work out, I hope so. Good luck with that. No more Harpies, and there's a Dela somewhere. On the far right, this. Wow. Delas don't even have that much HP, it looks like. That's interesting. Alrighty, moving on. We will soon get to a resting place and a restock place anyway, so we don't need to worry about too much about our resources. 3 giants! So those are kind of the upgraded big guys from the Ifrit's cave that we've seen earlier. I do believe they also have paralyzation hit, but Maxwell is just destroying them left and right. It's kind of crazy. So, over on the right, there's the Moon Reading Tower. We will go there soon. Before that, I would like to go to Midgard. Brigand! So Maxwell instead hits the tree on the right, even though... Oh, 2,300 in one single hit from Maxwell. That's just... the power of Maxwell. What are you doing? Hey, Mint actually gets to physically attack for once. And we get a question mark weapon. I actually have no idea what those are. So this is why I bought more rune bottles, by the way. If I get random weapons, I would like to identify them. Let's see. Yes, it is a question mark weapon. Where are we? Like the rune bottles were at the bottom. By the way, we also got another Basilisk Seal. Once again, that's a full heal. Even if someone is taken out, but unfortunately on the outside of combat, so it's not all that useful. Where are my rune bottles? I did buy some more. Are they up top? Because I... had an empty spot or so? There they are. Wow, they are kind of high up. Question mark weapon. Ah, a longsword? Wait, so this is not a longsword? Oh! 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 Oh, that was the Thunderclap. Right, actually. This is something I picked up in Ifrit's cave. Thunderclap is Thunder Element. It has actually really good slice damage potential. It's just not as strong as the Mecha Halberd. Which, if we want to do Lightning Element, we use Lightning from long range anyway, so it's not all that great, unfortunately. But it's an interesting weapon. I forgot about that, actually. At some point I was even wondering. You're fine, Hardmode? That sounds nice. Doing quite excellent indeed, thank you. So this is Midgard. Hello? Go away! No one's home! By the tone of the music, you can just kind of smell. This is more of a military type city. There's soldiers everywhere. They are preparing for war. Food is rationed. Are they just... He's just following me. Hi. I need a handout. You mean food? Hey guy, play with me! Hi. She doesn't say anything. Hi. These poor children lost their parents in the war. It's horrible. Wow, that's pretty dark to say the least. Hi. I wish mommy would come home soon. I like being a hermit. You probably just heard some random words and that's what he runs with. Yeah, that's a pretty dark era in a sense. By the way, at least you can see whenever I press the interact button now, because if it doesn't work, I'm going to, well, fit some sorcery from the sorcerer's ring. Can I actually get up on that wall sometime? Hey, there's an inn. Let's just go to sleep for a while. Hi. The inn is closed, I'm sorry, but I don't make the rules. Oh. I actually did not know that. Let's see. South Midgard, I do believe we can restock here. Pharmacy, which I believe also sells orange gummies, so I'm just going to replenish our TP. So using orange gummies and buy some more. Hi! Hey, come on in! Orange gummies indeed. What did he say? Eat that wrapped? Sure. Orange gum is just as goo in my hands, it's kind of, and in my backpack seems kind of awkward. So this is the weapon shop where we bought the weapons earlier. I wonder, is this the exit? Yes, this is the exit. There's two parts to the town, I wasn't sure whether this would be where you exit. If you go north, you are in, well, North Midgard. There's food here, or is there? Hi, it's pretty empty here. We don't carry the best stuff, but I'll sell you what I've got. Alrighty. Cheers, Twinkies. There's more BHT in this than you can shake a stick at. I don't even know what that means. Up to 32 ore per pickup? What? That's ridiculous. Holy cow. How much ore do you have now? Hi, what are you doing here? Oh, the Dark Knight. Wanna see something? Oops, sorry, wrong game. What? The Dark Knight? I wonder what that is a reference to. Hi. Hey, you swordsman. I'll sell you this technique book for a quick 18,000 gold. What do you say? Sure. Hey man, I've got to eat. Don't rip me off like that. So I don't have enough monies. I apologize. Pawn shop. Hi. Welcome. Leather mantle, thieves mantle, spy lens, rabbit's foot, and talisman. So let me actually sell some stuff to afford that. I need 10,000 gold. I don't want to sell my second mantle ring. We don't need the flame mantles anymore. We don't need the opuscule anymore. I'm probably... Oh, I guess I could sell the yellow cake, but no, I'm not going to. I could sell the reverse doll. I can sell the holy rune, although holy rune might be useful at some point. Heavy stone, I pretty much have never any use for those anymore. Also, apparently we picked some up just kind of randomly. Sell the broom, sell the chicken, sell the seafood. Sell this little thing, sell the aqua mantles, sell Japanese apples, which are actually worth 300 gold each. Sell the elixir, once again I'm not going to use them anyways, and now I already have enough money. We don't need the silver cloaks anymore either. Sell the thunderclap, unfortunately, even though it's a pretty sweet weapon. The axe with the soul of a thunder dragon. We don't actually have much use for it, unfortunately. That's that. Thanks. For them not having much money around here, they bought quite a few things off of me. Hi. Alrighty. Crest learned Bolt Crash. Well, I wonder which 2 techniques I have to master for it. Once again, thanks man, now I can eat. For 18,000 gold. I guess food has to be expensive during war, doesn't it? Well, or at least it's going to get more expensive. Inflation, probably. Either way, let's take a look. Bolt Crash, you say. Only long range techniques, it seems. So, right, I still need to basically practice Blade Storm a lot more. Dual Kick and Lightning Bolt. Yep. Then Blade Storm, Dual Kick. You know what? I'm going to replace this with Dual Kick. It's not going to deal a whole lot of damage overall if I'm in melee combat. But at least I'm going to start practicing up techniques that I might be able to use. Hi. All clear. All clear. Hi. My parents live in Albanista. I know they're worried. Oh, I found them before. The mayor's house. Mayor? There's a mayor and a king. How does that work? Almost everyone left town. I don't have anyone left to govern. Wow. You need to also mention that they left town in order to fight in a war. Don't just make it look like it's a barn in a city? Weird. There might be more to the barn or the backside, let me see. Delicious yellow cake. Oh goodness, please don't eat that one. And that seems to be the entirety of the city of Midgard. I did not know you could sneak in between those alleyways. Interesting. Alrighty. Hey, you! Who's there? Did you guys hear that? Yes, I heard it too. What kind of bug are you? I'm not a bug, I'm a fairy! What do you want with us? I was bored, so I thought I'd come use you for entertainment. But you're rather boring. We don't have any time to play, we have to save the world. Oh, I've got an idea. Whoa. Cress, what's wrong? Oh no. What is it, Cress? I lost Alvanista's royal crest. What? If you want it back, come up to the top floor of the Tower of the 12 Stars. Great, just perfect. We've got to get it back if we're going to get into the Midgard Fortress. The Tower of the 12 Stars. Didn't the Rambard mention it? Do you think magical spirits live there? I suppose it's possible. The tower is south of here. So, basically if you try to go to the castle, this is what happens. Hi. Hey, you there, halt! Who are you? We are here to see Edward D. Morrison at his request. Do you have proof of this invitation? Well, we had Albanista's royal crest, but it was taken from us. Then I can't let you pass. Yep. So this is how the game makes sure that you actually do go to the tower first. Also, it's called the Tower of the 12 Stars. Good to know. I'm going to be using a holy bottle here, because this is going to be quite a few things coming up. But I'm only going to use one, I think, just so we get into more encounters. Maybe more. Depends on how much we're going to explore here. So this is the Tower of the 12 Stars. 12 stars, like the 12... What are those things called? You know, Arius and... Lionel and something like that. Tower of the 12 Stars. Floor 2. Zodiacs, there we go, thank you. It says the ancient people sang songs of darkness. Songs of darkness. We can just go upstairs. So, to explain a little bit, Songs of Darkness. What you're hearing in the background right now is indeed the Song of Darkness. Or at least that's what the game calls it. There are those statues in those little side rooms. And also a little bit of an encounter right around here, I think. More statues. And then we also have brigands in these areas. Dark Mage. That is stone wall. This will deal damage over time on her Archie. But probably not going to be too bad overall. Maxwell is just going to destroy those poor guys. Oh my god. Oh! That thing just one-shot Mint. Wow. It almost one-shot Clarf, and it did one-shot. Wow. We get some heavy stones for our trouble. That's not useful. Either way, the basic idea of this tower, which you would figure out rather quickly, is that there are a number of statues, and what those statues do will become obvious, let's say, fairly soon. I'm not going to put Mint in the back row here, and Archie as well. Hopefully they don't get actually ambushed from the backside. Now that I think about it, what I'm going to do is put Cress a bit further up front, you a bit further front, and you here. So the reason is, some enemies actually cannot reach Archie. Because they are, well, their attack hitbox just doesn't reach there. Either way, we're going to be interacting with a statue here. I actually don't remember which one it was. Oh well, we're just going to do the puzzle like normal, I guess. So we're going to be reading this thing here. It says, the ancient people sang songs of happiness. Song of happiness. So we need to find a song of happiness in order to advance further. The door upstairs is closed. Here's Taurus. And there's a chest. We found some bread. Hooray. Lightning. Oh, they are immune to lightning. Oh, that is super close. If that did not kill it, we would be in trouble here. So lightning doesn't deal any damage to those guys. They are immune, yes, essentially. But Maxwell just destroys them. Maxwell is actually neutral element for the most part. And pretty much no enemy resists Maxwell. It's crazy good. So I believe it was here. This statue has a button on the base. Press the button. Yes, indeed. This kind of sounds like a happy song, doesn't it? And as a matter of fact, I do know this is the correct song. There's another statue here. On the way down, I will probably press some more buttons just to see what other music there might be. Ambush, that is no good. Maxwell! Boom, boom, boom. By the way, when I press L, I reorientate my party back to, to facing left. And this allows me to essentially be in front of my party members. You cannot normally walk through them unless you reorientate your party to the other side. Or you can attack an enemy on the other side. We found a holy rune. So that's kind of the thing there. I actually don't know about those items for the most part. So, since I'm going to be exploring more than just doing the bare minimum in these areas, holy cow. Since I'm going to be exploring more than just doing the bare minimum in these areas, I'm going to probably use some more holy bottles. Oh my goodness. That's a little bit overkill, but fair. I need to heal Cress here. Brings to you, Play Polite, welcome to you. Heal, heal. And I feel like this tower is kind of a little bit of a tribute to... the music, and how they like the music in this game, and the music design is so amazing. The ancient people sang songs of tranquility. Tranquility, you say? Alright. More chests. Basilisk scale and remedy bottle found. We don't need a remedy bottle, we have still 15 of them. They are not that expensive anyways. Basilisk scale, on the other hand, can be really handy. And here we have... This is a song of tranquility. Sounds pretty tranquil to me. Probably going to be too slow, isn't it? Uh-oh. I'm going to get a bit of that brick and the wall there. Okay, Maxwell should wipe out at least one of them. Oh, both. Nice. Unfortunately, Archie ended up dying here. I'm going to try and use a life bottle. So life bottles in battle take an incredibly long time in order to actually proc. So reviving in battle usually is too slow to even work. So now I need to wait. I don't want to advance the text box until Archie actually revives. She still does not gain the experience from battle, because she was defeated during, well, that time. So unfortunately ambush is kind of the worst part for me, I guess. Since, well, enemies just attack from the backside and one-shot Archie. Or at least it looks like that. Essentially on each floor there is 3 possible paths you can go. You can go left, you can go down, and you can go right. In this one, the intended path is to go down. Let's just explore on the sides here. I also want to read the stone tablet. What do we have here? Just a mantle. Just a regular old mantle. Which once again you can use a rune bottle on to become... or to get a flame mantle, but they are just not all that useful compared to Persian boots. And here we have corpses. And we have only one corpse. Never mind, we have no corpses anymore. Oh, they are also immune to fire. Holy cow. Those brigands are crazy. Essentially, those little ones are very often actually really strong. Like, dealing with them can be quite difficult. We get a question mark weapon from probably the brigands, most likely not from the corpses. I don't actually know whether the corpses drop any of those. Let's just take a quick look at what that is. Question mark weapon, Slayer sword, oh boy. A sword used by barbarians to cut down 3 people at once. It has 200 slice and 200 attack. And it looks like it is earth element. So, unfortunately, the element of the weapon is its downfall, because a lot of enemies are just immune, absorb it even, doesn't gain HP, or... Let's listen to this song. Oh, this is the exact same song. Okay. A lot of enemies absorb it, are immune, and such. But the Slayer sword, unfortunately, is not all that great. Fun fact, if you win the battle in the PlayStation version on the boat against the possession of Maya, you get a Slayer sword in the PlayStation version, which, well, for mentioned reasons is not all that useful, but it's a really strong weapon, generally speaking. I don't actually know whether any enemies are specifically weak against Earth. I guess I can try, considering I can always rely on Maxwell. But at the same time, it's also always a bit of a risk to use different weapons. So this is almost as strong as the Mecha Halberd. It's quite something. The statue has a button. Let's press it. It's a happy song again. Alright. And here we have another statue. And this statue here Let me ask you. What kind of song, or how would you describe this song here? It sounds kind of interesting. Okay, corpses are not immune to that, that is nice. I have no idea how much physical defense corpses have, because last time I didn't get to attack them, because Maxwell just wiped them out immediately. I missed. By the way, if I bump an enemy into my allies, it looks like they're getting hurt, but they don't actually get hurt. They just get knocked out, knocked away, which means it will interrupt their spellcast if I do that. Hey, we get a random rune bottle. Nice. Green Sea Nooster, how are you doing? So yeah, what would you call this song here? A rabbit's foot. And the statue, we don't want to activate that one. Because to me it sounds kind of ominous, but I don't actually know the tablet description. It says the ancient people sang songs of darkness. Oh. Right, this is the first song again, isn't it? I actually didn't even realize that until just now. Song is mysterious, yes. Mysterious ominous is what I would have called it too. Let's read this one here too. The ancient people sang songs of courage. Songs of courage, you say. Alright. Just going to use some more holy bottles. So here we have. Yes, that's a rune bottle. I actually knew that one. So let's see whether this is indeed this kind of song. Songs of courage. Yeah, sounds kind of courageous, I dare to say. The Green Sea Vanakat, welcome. Hope you're doing well. This sounds very courageous. Let's actually check out over here too. I know this is the correct song, by the way. Ooh, we have mod golems. Alrighty, here we go. This is a problem. As you might be able to tell, I cannot damage the mod golems at all. But Maxwell can. 1600 damage. That's a lot of damage. I can damage those guys. So mod golems are not just immune, as in I don't just deal 0 damage. I literally heal them if I attack them with an earth weapon here. So once again, there's a good reason why I do strongly prefer neutral weapons, generally speaking, because even if it might be useful or a good element against certain enemies, you don't know which kind of encounters you get. Well, at least I don't. There's no way to manipulate them after the first encounter, after a soft reset, so there's that. What do we have here? Black Onyx. Nice, and another rabbit's foot. Black Onyx, well, increases our HP by 30%, maximum HP that is. Another statue here, nothing interesting. Another statue here, alrighty. I'm not going to explore all the side rooms, there's various chests. None of the items is all that noteworthy, some of them are just nice for having and good for selling, like the Black Onyx for example. But that's about it. Whoa. Hi. We know you.
What are you doing here? These stairs lead to my elder sister's room. And you're not allowed up there.
Well, we are here for you, buddy. Huh?
Ah, you again. Huh. Hey, you're that little insect that stole from us in Midgard, aren't you? I am not an insect. First off, I'm a fairy. Not an insect. Second, I'm Luna's personal assistant. You may address me as His Wonderful Benevolence, Sir Artemis of the Moon.
A fairy? Aren't fairies just, well, fairy tales? I have a question. Do you write fairies like that and fairy tales like that? I'm just curious. But yeah, fairies are just fairy tales. And this fairy has probably a lot of tales to tell. I thought that all of the fairies were killed in the ancient war of Ragnarok. amazing that any survived.
We fairies aren't as easy to get rid of as you pesky humans might think. Regardless, there's no way I'm letting you through to this door.
Oh, give it up, Artemis.
No, no, no! What did I tell you before?
What now?
What did I tell you? How are you supposed to address me?
Oh, fine. Your wonderful benevolent Sir Artemis of the Moon, please. There must be some way that you will let us pass. You're not here to let us pass. Whatever.
Tell you what. If Toot's over there, yeah, you with the pink hair, you've got to kiss someone. How about laying a nice big sloppy one on the blonde guy?
Well, that's kind of rude. Archie, wait! We've got to, if we were ever gonna get to see Luna. Come on. Besides, it'll be fun.
No!
Mint is having none of it.
Artemis, stop it. Yes, ma'am.
Who is that?
Artemis, give something to them in return for all the trouble you've caused them. You're a mage of sorts, right?
This should be right up your alley.
It's a book of spells.
Archie learned Ray. Well, at least he gives us a useful spell.
Luna will be waiting for you upstairs. See you around, suckers.
Wow.
You know, something about that little jerk. Something in his eyes just looked really sad.
I didn't think about it before. He may very well be the last living fairy. That would be enough to make anyone sad. Hi. How are you doing?
Are you... I am the Queen of the Moon, but you may call me Luna. I apologize if Artemis troubled you.
Don't worry about it.
We came to retrieve Alvanista's royal crest. May we have it back?
Of course. How forgetful of me. Recovered Alvanista's royal crest.
Oh, you get it back from Luna.
Interesting. Thank you, Luna.
We've taken it upon ourselves to defeat Dals, and I'd like to request a contract with you in order to help us do so. If you want to test us in battle, I don't care how monstrous an opponent you're facing. I'd rather not fight. But it seems these days there is no alternative. Very well, you have my full support.
Really? Then you will grant me a contract?
Thank you, Queen Luna.
Then let's do it. Stand back.
Artemis, I have to go for now. You'll just have to get along without me for a while. Alone. Clarf, you and I will forge a contract through your moonstone ring.
Spirits of magic, I beseech you, grant me the power of the moon. My name is Clarf. Well, we didn't even have to prove ourselves in battle. And Clarf gained the ability to summon the Moon Queen, Luna. Well, that's quite something. Why does the Queen of the Moon also use star imagery? Wait a second.
Luna, my elder sister. Now I really am alone.
Oh. Poor little guy. Either way, why does the Queen of the Moon use stars as well? Well, basically, it all forms a thing together, I guess. Stone wall. Rude. Let's see, are you going to be using Luna here? She's using Luna. Look at Luna. Luna looks so happy to just kind of laser the enemies. It's so... I think I really like it. It's kind of adorable. Oh, tractor beam. Interesting. A second moon would just look silly. They actually do have 2 moons on that world, as we learned. I would also like to point out, Luna has laser written on her little... What do you call that? On her little bands that she wears. Moon Tiara action? Wow. Twilight just puts a banking into the food box. Corpse. So Luna is indeed light element, and it will deal more damage to enemies that are weak to light, which those corpses should be, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, 800 damage. Not too bad for Luna. But the thing is, Maxwell is just way stronger. Also, look at Luna here. Initially, her tag reads Luna on the left side, and then it changes to laser. And she always looks so happy to just laser people. Like, she says she doesn't like fighting, but I feel like she really likes lighting up things, for that matter. Oh well. Let's move on a little bit. Anom Allison is now hosting for a bunch of viewers. Thank you, I appreciate that. Welcome everybody, I hope you had a good time over there. Currently walking through Tales of Phantasia for the Super Famicom, that is the Japanese Super Nintendo, the fan translation to be specific. I'm playing this on the console, thanks to an ST2 SNES. And well, I do know a lot about the game, but if you are interested in knowing this game, or if you already know the game more specifically, I would like to request that you preferably don't spoil it necessarily for people that may just kind of experience this game for the first time. Luna! So here's the thing, I love Luna's animation, I love the spell casting, I love her little smile, it is actually really adorable. But unfortunately it's just way weaker than Maxwell. There's not much of a reason to use her over Maxwell, so I'm going to switch that up. And Nurse is essentially the heal spell Mint chooses when we are very hurt, and the nice thing about Nurse is, unlike heal, it's basically instant since it freezes combat time for a little while. So I guess it does have a benefit to freezing or costing a bit more time to use. Just a little one. Seal up Clarf. And, well, we're not going to be using Luna for now. And I just wanted to also explore this base level here, because I'm going to use one more holy bottle. You know what, let's change up the music a little bit. You're tired? Oh boy. Hope it's the good kind of tired and you can rest a little while. You haven't seen this game before? Well, you might see it on this channel a few more times. I'm actually a speedrunner of this game, but I'm just doing a casual replay of this. Let's change the music up again, I guess. Because why not? But yeah, I'm actually a speedrunner of this game, and well, I just really like this game overall. And before I get back into speedrunning, because I haven't done that in a while, I'm just going to casually walk through it and do things I have never done before, like playing this more casual than before. You like the SNES sprite work more than the PlayStation version for the most part? Yes, same here for me. I would like the colors to be a bit less pale, a bit stronger, but overall, I personally prefer this art style. But at the same time, I don't think it's bad on the PlayStation version. In fact, PlayStation plays a lot nicer, as in, it's a lot more refined, which is good. And well, ladies and gentlemen, I don't actually know whether there's anything to the left here. Doesn't look like it. At least not to my knowledge. So if there's, by the way, if there's some places I can go outside of the path that I'm taking, feel free to point it out that there is something, but preferably not with a spoiler as to what it is. So now that we have the crest of Alvanista, we can actually go in here.
You there, halt! I'm going to need to see some ID before I can let you pass.
This is Alvanista's royal crest.
You may pass.
We are here to see Edward C. Morrison. Can he take us to him?
Please, this way.
Greetings to you all, Lonnie. Welcome.
How much longer do we have to wait?
What are we doing here? I guess we've been waiting here for a while.
I'm sick of waiting.
So, you literally have to wait a certain amount of time.
Hey, Chris, we should stay here and wait for Edward.
So yeah, we are just literally waiting in that case. Doing anything like going to the menu actually elongates the timer we need to wait for. So,
someone's coming. Sorry to keep you waiting. I'm Lyson, the King's chief advisor. Edward's told me all about you. He told me not to be fooled by your youth. I can see why. You're hardly more than children.
Well,
we're hoping you'd come.
Well, we both have the same goal, to defeat Daos. I don't get what Daos is after. What does he stand to gain from all this?
Daos' only goal is to destroy the world.
How do we really know that? Archie, what are you saying?
She's right, you know. We don't know all that much about Daos.
Destroy the whole world?
That's correct.
Well, never mind.
I think we are over-analyzing the situation. Regardless, I want to extend my thanks to you for your help.
When are you expecting an attack?
Let's consult with the king.
I'm sure His Highness will want to meet you in person. That's the first thing Edward said right there. Interesting. But yes, please avoid spoilers. I would appreciate that. Because once again, I may know the story, I may know a lot about this game, but there's probably people that, well, I know there's people that are going to watch this that don't have that knowledge. So, let's see. Only royal families allowed through this door. Sorry, I need to reposition myself on the chair. And let's see. Oh, hi.
Sir Lyson, is it true that Daos warned you to stop your mystic research? If you'd have stopped, Midgard does not take orders from the likes of Daos. You just concentrate on your research.
What are you doing here?
Well, please follow me. The king wished to speak with you.
You know, that's the only path we can go if we get to the king.
Edward, are these the warriors we've been expecting?
Yes, Your Highness. They've proven themselves as warriors and as heroes in their deeds in Alvanista.
I'm glad that you're here to fight for our cause.
Agreed.
We have no relations with the elves at all. We've had a few emissaries from Alvanista come, but other than that, the magical power here in Midgard is relatively limited, so I'm glad to see you are magic users. Our recon indicates that Daos troops have already gathered at the north end of the Valhalla Plains. They are preparing for an attack. We've been pouring most of our funds into a secret weapon. Come with me, I'll show you.
If our research goal is met, humans will be able to use magic just like elves. Won't that be wonderful? Humans using magic just like elves? It's been my lifelong dream. After we win this war, I'll see to it that you are appointed to the research team. Really? What an opportunity. I've got to get back. My staff can provide you with a few more details. Interesting. So they are researching exactly what Clark has been trying to find out as well. Although Clark has been somewhat successful-ish already. If only the elves would aid us. Hi. I'm studying the relationship between magical spirits and their elements. Even though they know Dahl's weak point is magic, the elves refuse to fight alongside us. Dahl's weak point is magic, you say? We did actually learn that already quite a while ago. If this research is successful, we'll be able to attack Dahls ourselves. Hi. If we had the magic that the elves had, we could slaughter Dahls. I've been working every day for over a month. I need a vacation, but Midgard needs me now more than ever. Oops. We're building a better tomorrow through science. I'm studying the properties of magical flight. May I have your broom? Hell no! Seems like the more work I do, the more work he creates. Poor guy. Hi. Only researchers with the highest security clearance can get through this door. Well, I guess we didn't learn all that much new. Midgard Fortress. So, what else is in here? Quite a few. Cannons, halberds, armor. They've been definitely stocking up. Probably gunpowder in those barrels. Surprised they don't use those armors here for war as well. Or maybe they are just waiting until they get it. Hi. All clear. The war is coming soon. We've got to be careful. The fate of Midgard is in your hands now. What is in here? The Queen's room? Probably something like that. The King's bed. Not all that large. You've never seen this Tales game before, it looks cool. Well, it's basically the literally first one in the series. This is literally the entire first thing that has ever come out in the Tales series. And it also was developed by a different team than actually the second one even already. And you can see a lot of the beginnings of the Tales of series. The mechanics are very rough around its edges, but for a large portion, many are there, including food, but there's no cooking, including long and short range abilities, but you cannot actually use short range abilities at long range and vice versa. And many things are just here. You cannot control any character. I'm only ever going to be in control of Cress himself. So there's that. Let's see what else we can do here. Something's fishy. What do you mean? I don't get what Daos has to gain from a war like this. I realize he attacked the villages, but... But what? Why hasn't Daos moved against Euclid or Venetia? He's already shown us he could destroy an entire country from the inside out. Remember what he did to the Alvanistas prince? And he still hasn't really done anything against Midgard. Why not? We can't answer those questions. Have we forgotten what he did to Hardmode? That was a private affair. Daos was responsible for the deaths of Leah, her parents, and even Demeter. How can you just make excuses for him? Class, stop it. My point is, why? What are you talking about? What do all these places have in common? Well, because the other villages haven't been attacked, there must be some connection between the Scarlets, Harmel, and Midgard. Well, I'm stumped. Let's go ask my father. I need to see him anyway. Now? There's a gigantic war about to begin and you want to see Daddy? Don't be ridiculous. We'll be back in a flash. Archie, will you tell us what it is you're thinking? Never mind, let's go already. Well, Archie, here we are. Archie? She looks angry. Daddy, you lied to me! Mommy is not dead! Why did you tell me that? No, Archie, you don't understand. So, you found her then? I see. Why did she leave us, Daddy? Did you have an affair? How can you even consider that? Really, Archie, how dare you speak to your father like that? Until 10 years ago, elves and humans coexisted in peace. Then, one day, the elves decided to secede from the human society. They moved to the Ymir forest. Of course, not all the elves agreed with the High Council's decision. Lush and I were separated by force. Lush! Do you really have to go? My love, I'm so sorry. Why can't we run away and be happy together? Lush, please reconsider. Bart, my love, I'd give anything to be with you a little longer. Why is this happening? You underestimate the difference between our two races, human. Your kind has to take the time to learn the error of your ways. What are you talking about? And until you do, don't count on ever seeing another elf. Elves are jerks. Seems like they have a reason for it though. I don't understand. Lush. What did he mean by error of your ways? I don't know what the elf meant, but before they took her away, Lush asked me to tell you she was dead, Archie. Oh, Mommy. Archie. Daddy, please, don't be angry with her. She told me how sorry she was. I've never been angry with her. What happened wasn't any of our faults. Daddy, Mommy. I'm so sorry, my daughter. Bart, we need to ask you a few questions. Did Leah's parents do something wrong? What do you mean? There's got to be some connection between the Scarlet family and Midgard. Well, they moved to Harmel from Midgard several years ago. Supposedly they were working on some top-secret project for the government. Perhaps they were looking for a way to use magical power against dolls? Why is it that dolls and magic seem to be interrelated? He's afraid. It's his only weakness. We've got to get to Midgard. Agreed, let's go. Huh? Something's going on at the castle gate. Before we go there, I'm going to go outside real quick and save. Because it's been a while. Something's going on at the castle gate. What's going on, buddy? Mr. Morrison is back there with a demon. You've got to do something. The demon has a kidnapped child. How do you get in here? Mr. Morrison, what is it?
It's about time you showed up.
Jastorna, what do you want of us?
I'm here to deliver a message from Daos himself. You were warned. You wanted a war, so let your war begin.
What do you mean?
Don't move. Take one more step and I'll disembowel him.
You wouldn't.
Haha, I can, and I will. The blood of the innocent is already upon your hands. This is what your Midgard wants, not me.
Archie, watch carefully.
Oh. What? You couldn't have! Ah!
Edward, no!
This is a very preliminary form of magic-induced time travel. That'll be the last spell you ever cast.
Please don't make the same mistakes I did.
What's happening?
Whoa. That was just like when Tornix... Edward. Archie, do you still have any doubts how we need to deal with Daos? You saw that. That coward would do anything to see us dead as long as he doesn't have to show up himself. Alright, I'll keep my mouth shut from now on. Chris, now that Edward is dead, has history changed? I don't know. But that's the second time a Morrison saved our lives. This is too much. We need to defeat Daos once and for all. So he is dead. Do we know that for certain? He did say something about a basic word for time travel. He may have just meant time traveling behind the demon and then exploded both of them. Take a look at this map. We're now in a meeting. As you know, Daos Castle is just to the northeast of our country. Right over here. There is only one bridge between here and Daos Island. So this is obviously the only viable battleground. We'll be waiting here for all the battalions to meet and join forces. We estimate that Daos forces will reach Midgard in 5 days. It is imperative that we intercept Daos' army before then. If we take more than 5 days, then the enemy's troops will be able to invade the city. General Marquez, we've got to hold our ground while a strike force takes out their commander. It's a dangerous mission, but it's the most effective way to attack. General Atwood will head the first team. General Marquez will lead the second group. The third group will be headed by General Faulkner. Clark, I'd like you to lead the final group. Are you sure you want to place a man with absolutely no military training in command? You're forgetting yourself, General. I head this military, and at this moment I've got no tolerance for insubordination.
If you're having any doubts, I suggest you pack up and leave now. Otherwise, sit back down and start following orders. Yes, sir. If I didn't call your name just now, please leave, as I'd like to consult with the team leaders. You'll all be informed of our strategy later. Go into town and pick up any equipment you think we may need. I've got to stay here and plan. I've arranged for you to stay at the inn. Come back to see me tomorrow. Well, that's kind of awkward. They have an important conference in there. You shouldn't interrupt. Well, we can now go to the inn, it seems. What if Edward is not killed? Right. What if? I don't actually know. There's theories around that, but I'm not going to go into detail about those just yet, because it might contain other spoilers. Here, I'm actually going to exchange the Gorgon amulet. I'm not going to get turned into stone anytime soon. And... wait, double Persian boots unfortunately does not work to my knowledge. I'm going to equip the Black Onyx, increasing my maximum health a little. So, well, have we been down here? Right, this is the research facility here. And we are in Midgard Fortress. Now we can, well, try to make some preparations. All clear indeed. Good morning, rambunctious. Welcome. Hope you're doing well. So we are in South Midgard. I don't think we can leave. It's best we stay within the city limits for now. Right. So, by the way, Clark told us that we should go to the inn and come back tomorrow because they are going to be in a conference for quite some time. Fun fact, you can literally go downstairs and then back upstairs, and that is sufficient already. Welcome, Lysis told me all about you. You need to rest? Sure. Good night. But at this moment, I feel like it's more interesting to just go ahead and actually do that. Maybe there's additional cutscenes or something else that I would miss. Doesn't look like it. Hi. I hope to see you again soon. Well... I'm not sure about that. Either way. Now we have all clear again. They're just very efficient, they are indeed. I just wanted to point that out. It appears to be no other things. Also the story makes slightly more sense because you'll see. Blarf, are you finished? Yes, we were up all night, but we're finished now. Well, what's the plan? It's obvious that the soldiers from It's obvious that the soldiers wish that they didn't need help from outsiders like us. Why should they care? Well, we'll just have to prove to them that they couldn't have done this without us. How's the machine? It's functioning perfectly. We'll see how Daos feels after a taste of the mystic talent. I used to call it Magitech Cannon. In the year 4202. In Alvanista, the people prepare for disaster. The bloodiest war in history, the Valhalla conflict. The war's greatest hero, Edward D. Morrison. Has his death changed the outcome of the war?
Only time will tell. Because yes, essentially, in case you didn't catch that, it's implied that basically, since Crescent Mint are from the future, they know about history, and the greatest war hero, Edward de Morrison, back then, apparently, well, did something great, or, well, he was a war hero, probably for a reason. I don't think we get any more details on that, but that is just the implication of there might have been something, and maybe we changed history because of it. The king will reward you according to your performance in this battle. What? We're not mercenaries, we should not be out here for the love of our country. Well, let's get this started. Good luck. And indeed, the more enemies you defeat, I think, along the way, the better you will be off in the end. The goal is to reach the general of Dao's army and take him out. If you are touched by an enemy in the environment, you'll have to fight them. Head northeast through the plains to their commander. Actually, you can still run away from the enemies. Also, time is running, which is why I'm opening the menu here real quick. I'm actually real curious about something. Let me look that up real quick. Because there has been something I've been curious about since a while. Alright, so according to this internet page, basically if you reach the boss within 5 days you get 10,000 gold, and that's it. There's currently no items to be picked up or anything like that. Hi. You can rest here, but it'll take 8 hours from the time away off you from your time. Rest here? No. Go get him! The government has funded me to supply the armor. You can use my stores for free. What can I get for you? Apple gummy, life bottle, bread. Well, we've been pretty much stocked up on those. Maybe some life bottles. Got a life bottle. You already have 15 of those. Did I buy some? I probably bought some. Either way, you can save here. And well, the general plan of action is to get through the Valhalla plains quickly as possible, which means preferably not fighting enemies. There's two types of enemies running around here. The ones that are just randomly pacing, and the other ones that are standing around, and as soon as you get into their proximity, they'll basically chase you around. Plus, time actually moves in more or less real time. Various enemies here are the chimeras here. Those guys don't turn into stones, even though they look a lot like basilisks. They paralyze you instead. So they are not without danger, to say the least, so you want to be a bit careful. But at the same time, they are not also not particularly dangerous, since, well, they are kind of slow. You can take them out rather quickly overall. Archie gained a level. And we just move on. So the Valhalla plains are essentially just a gigantic mix. I did not mean to move back. And, well, the goal is to get through this as fast as possible. So, well, that will be my plan. So here we have little Agumis and old oaks. Oaks are once again 3 enemies, basically just a reskin, but also different stats, slightly different behavior. But they should also be weak to lightning. They do have a lot of HP, kind of like the previous ones, but once again, lightning will just help us tremendously. I do believe they are also weak to fire, so Phoenix should deal a decent amount of damage as well. But lightning is just faster overall, so might as well use that. Give some levels and some apples. Convenient. You cannot get into an encounter for about a half a second after you got into the previous encounter. Also, what in a speedrun I do, I actually briefly open the menu whenever I enter another area. This allows me to easily check for whether enemies are close enough that I would need to avoid them, or reset the area. Basically, the amount of enemies and where the enemies are is randomized. They have specific spawn points where they can spawn, but it's still randomized as to where they will be essential in the end. Maxwell just destroys everything. It's so crazy good. Oh, by the way, it's worth noting, Archie also has acquired a new ability. Thanks to the little guy that helped us out in the tower, let us actually have Archie cast Ray as well. I'm going to disable Stone Wall. The wall spells unfortunately are not all that great. Even the damage over time effect, unfortunately, is not affected by element, I don't think, so it's just a slow running damage over time effect that just doesn't do a whole lot really. But I'm going to allow Archer to cast spells herself. You can see Rain in action as well in that case. So sometimes there's so many enemies in the area that the game actually starts lagging a bit. It's kind of curious. Ray! So this is how Ray looks. It's a light elemental spell, I believe. Actually not entirely sure about that. But it deals decent damage to all enemies on screen. It's actually reasonably substantial and worth using. Yeah, there's a lot of enemies. You can see the slowdown. It's actually pretty heavy. Generally speaking, I do know where to go through. I will try to avoid a lot of enemies. Oh, I say, and I just accidentally walk over there. Nurse, heal everybody. Thank you, that was very necessary, it seems like. Maxwell! Boom. Apples acquired. How convenient. I was trying to... Wow, more... They really don't want to let me through. Great. I wanted to wait until the enemies might be in a slightly better position for me to run past the stationary enemies, which will run towards me really fast if I get close enough to them, but that didn't quite work out the way I hoped it would. Oh well. Also, you can see it gets rather dark rather soon, and we actually also just changed environment. It's a bit hard to tell because you might just think, oh, that's just because it's darker. Not entirely. There's actually a slight difference. You'll probably see that because I'm not going to speedrun to this area, I'm just going to walk. There's no random encounters, only the encounters you see that where enemies are actually just walking around, essentially. If you touch them, you get into encounters. This is not the only place where that happens, but it's kind of uncommon. I would prefer if Archie actually took out the enemies on the left side here. And unfortunately, Mint fell in combat. So the trees actually have two attacks. They either basically use their roots to form a fist right under your feet and attack you like that, and alternatively they shake their crown and unleash apples onto your head, or nuts or something like that. I don't know what exactly it is. Either way, that one is actually more dangerous because it has a higher damage potential, but the fist is the more common one to actually hit you since it is rather quick. Need some orange gummies to restock soon, I guess. More enemies, oh goodness. On the bright side, this time it wasn't an ambush. I do believe there's 2 ambush encounters and 2 regular encounters, so it's kind of a 50-50 chance for an ambush. Not entirely sure that's accurate, but I think that's how it is. Did I figure out what causes Maxwell not to hit an enemy? If Maxwell does not hit a certain enemy, it's either because the little orbs have not been around on screen for long enough, or alternatively, as in basically Maxwell just is too close to the enemy spawning wise. Or the other alternative is that Maxwell might just... the enemy might just be in a state where he cannot get hit physically. Like certain bosses moving in certain ways. Midnight rest now? Sure. We just rest in the middle of enemies. Yeah, you just pick up camp. Day 2. And it becomes morning already. So basically resting costs you time, but it's nice. Either way, certain bosses and enemies, if they are in various types of movement, like they have a back step or a forward step, they cannot get hit during that physically, and that also includes Maxwell's attack that needs to actually connect with the enemies. They usually can still get hit by targeted spells, like Firewall, Stonewall, or Sylph, or Area of Effect spells. Actually, often Area of Effect spells will also miss, I think. Not entirely sure about that one. Also, as you can see, we are in a more snowy type area now. I took actually a slightly suboptimal way. Did I? I don't remember. Either way, we are soon there already. It's just a few more screens. Bam! Wow, Ray actually deals a lot of damage to those things. I had no idea. Gale Shield was learned. Oh boy. Let me actually see how far advanced Blaze Storm and Tool Kick are at this point. 68% and 72. Just need to use each of them 30 more times. Either way, what we just learned is one of the most broken techniques that there are, or there is. Create a barrier that enemies cannot pass through. Like, this doesn't sound all that impressive until you see it in action. In fact, I'm just going to go and equip it here already. And, well, let's put it this way. If I'm close enough to enemies, they will run into the Blade Storm. Oh, I just got paralyzed, never mind then. Into the Gale Shield. So that Gale Shield, I think it probably has different names in newer iteration of Tales of games. Keep in mind, this is a fan translation. On top of that, a very early one. So they did not actually have like Tales of Symphonia as a reference. Mitigate the lever and lend haste. I believe haste just allows you to move faster in combat, which might be useful. I don't usually use it. Remedy bottle here. Paralyze persists through combat. Either way, Gale Shield, I did not manage to demonstrate this, but we might be able to demonstrate this just a little bit up ahead. As you might be able to tell, our mission, it was to just attack the enemy general and make their troops or organization fall apart. Well, we've been just kind of breezing through the entire battlefield, and we're going to face this guy here.
It's impressive that he made it this far. I am Ishrantu, Dal's general. Now you must die.
So, alrighty. Here, we have Ishrantu. A weird little, well, big dragon thing, I guess, that is floating above ground. He's kind of a bit tricky to hit. So, fun fact, I've seen it, a single Maxwell take out Ishrantu. But you would need to have a really, really high roll for that. Also, apparently, Ishrantu gets hit on the right side of the screen, even though we can't see him right now. Poor guy. So, Ray deals actually pretty decent damage to this guy, overall. 700. Maxwell can completely destroy him. I'm actually going to tell Clark to not use spells anymore for now, and I'm also going to tell Archie not to use spells for now. Because I would like to use my Gale Shield here on this guy. Just kind of trying to use it here. But I can't do that if he is attacking me. So this is the Gale Shield, and it has just kind of little projectiles flying up. I didn't manage to do that properly, so I'm going to tell Archie to cast spells again, and Clark again. This is not a good fight to necessarily demonstrate this in, because he can cast spells, and if he doesn't cast spells, he probably will interrupt my attacks with his own attacks, so it's, I guess, not all that great to use. Either way, Ishrantu is a little bit of a pushover, thanks to mostly having Maxwell, really. 15,000 gold though. Poison Amulet acquired too, which is another 3,600 or so. Look, Dal's army is retreating. Let's head back. And indeed, we just won the Valhalla Plains War. It seems like anyways. So, let me actually drink something real quick. Give me a second, guys. So, we managed to win this for now. Sir Class! Are we a sir now? Nice. His Highness is expecting you.
First, I want to thank you all for your amazing effort in saving us from the forces of Taos. You've made all of Midgard proud. I also want to recognize those who performed beyond the call of duty. I think we all need to recognize the contribution of Mr. Clark F. Lester.
Thank you, Your Highness.
I'd like to present you with a token of our gratitude.
Receive 10,000 gold from the Royal Treasury. Thank you, Your Highness. So we won the competition or something like that. I'd also like to thank you all for your help and support in this conflict. King Valium! What? What's happening? The enemy is on their way. I thought we'd taken them out on the plains. No, they're in the sky. An aerial attack? That's a lot of flying enemies. Get the catapults up and running as soon as possible. Yes, Admiral. You, escort His Highness to his shelter.
No, I can't desert my people in the greatest hour of need. I'm prepared to fight and die, alongside you all.
Yes, my liege. Now's the time to reveal to Daos the power of our secret weapon. They are in danger. We've got to do something to help them. But how will we get high enough to do any damage? Let's go. We'll figure it out on the way. Indeed. Well... Hi. Hungry? Apparently those are merchants. How can you eat at a time like this? Well, they might be hungry. That's how. Pawn shop home. I wonder if my store is still intact. Need anything? Nope, thank you. I wonder if all this money will do me any good. Need some medicine? Yes, actually we need some more orange gummies. We were running low on those. Well, at this point I can also buy some mixed gummies. Because we have enough money overall. Life bottles. I guess we got some back. Flare bottles. Alrighty. Thanks.
We had to leave our stores in town, but I brought supply to sell here.
And you can buy another mecha halberd here if you want to.
Weapons are in high demand these days. Thanks.
You who wield the Gungnir, its importance is beyond your comprehension.
Yes, she did. Chris? What are you doing? Where are you going? What? I thought I heard a woman's voice. Are you feeling okay? I didn't hear anything. Whoop. He disappeared! Chris, what's happening? Min, get up! We just fainted. Clarv, we need your help up here. But my friend is... Now's not the time to mourn. What's more important are the lives that aren't lost yet. Come on. Darn it all. Whoa, that soldier has his head back together. Even though he was not quite right about the mourning part. That's the correct attitude. I respect that soldier. Where are we here? What is that circle? Teleported to... statue. It won't budge. A statue of a bush baby. These circles and symbols look familiar. Oh. Did Dahl send you here? No. I work for Odin. I'm a Valkyrie. Odin? Valkyrie? What are those?
What did you bring me here for? You need to return what is not rightfully yours. The Gungnir belongs to Odin, not you.
That's not fair. Runglong gave it to me. It's mine now.
Ugh. The humans found Gungnir and claimed it for themselves. If you return it to me now, I'll see to it that you get something in exchange for it.
Valkyrie not indoors.
I've got an idea. This horse can fly, right?
Confirming target. Solar battery is at 99.2%. Firing system is operational. You may fire when ready. Admiral, firing sequence begun.
Mana is disappearing.
Ha! Did you see that? That's how it's done.
There are still more on the way.
Prepare the cannon for another blast. What's happening?
I don't know. It's overloading.
No, not now. My beautiful machine.
Did you see that?
They were all obliterated. One more shot should wipe the others out too.
There's a problem. We can't use the Mystic Cannon.
What do you mean?
Perhaps combining science and magic isn't such a good idea. Now what?
Curses. If only Kless were here. Your wish has been granted, it seems. Kress, are you alright?
Kress? Is that really you, Kress?
I'm sorry you were worried.
Kress, where did you find that beautiful creature?
No time to explain now. If we can fly, we can fight.
Wait for me, I'm coming with you.
With just your broom?
I can't fly that high for long, but I think I can manage.
Come on, let's go. You can't do this without my help, and you know it.
I can lend the mage my power of flight.
Thank you, Pegasus.
Let's just get this over with.
We're off. Alrighty. Well, we are in charge of destroying the remainder of the enemy creatures, and here we have some vultures that are attacking us. They deal a lot of damage. Also, since Mint is not here, I need to manually heal. And here Archie casts Ray. I'm actually going to tell Archie to not cast spells on her own volition. I want to control them myself. Oh boy. Oh, don't die, Archie, no. Also, Archie is poisoned. And I will explain a little bit about this. Oh, I'm dead. Yep, you're defeated. And that's it. Alrighty. I should have immediately taken control of Archie. Their deaths mark the end for all hopes and dreams. It's pretty sinister, isn't it? Did I save? Nope, I didn't. Alright. We need to redo this battle here. So, let me explain as to what that battle is about. By the way, for anyone curious, we are actually on hard mode, which means it is... Well, let's put it this way. Rather tough, since enemies deal about 3 times as much damage, it feels like. I don't actually know how much exactly it is, but they deal so much more damage than usual, so you are dying incredibly quick. The thing is, already in the normal game, without without them being in hard mode and dealing more damage than usual, they already deal a lot of damage, like a lot of damage. It's kind of crazy. So what I needed to do there in the previous fight is have Archie immediately cast Thunderblade, which would have a good chance of taking out those harpies in one shot without too much trouble. So, also, unfortunately we need to rewatch those cutscenes now again as well. Also, once again, I'm going to tell Archie to not use spells on her own, and I'm also going to tell Clark to not use spells on his own. Just so I'm going to be used to those battles the way I normally play them. So, either way, let me real quick explain as to what is happening in that sky battle there. So, either way, first of all, I absolutely love the premise of that entire battle, to say the least. Like, it's amazing. Only Cress and Archie can fly high enough in order to actually combat the demons. So you are more or less the only hope. Like, the entire setup is just fascinating to me. You are fighting an uphill battle, more or less quite literally, since you keep flying higher and higher up and defeating enemies out there more and more. Or try to anyways, unless you get bodied along the way. Either way, the problem about that sky battle is it's probably the weakest part of the entire game, gameplay-wise. Since normally you might be able to tell, why did you not use certain abilities? Why don't you equip certain, like Tiger Blade or whatnot? The thing is, Cress cannot use any of his techniques. All I can do is attack, and that's it. In order for me to do a jump attack, which is the reasonable attack that deals a bit more damage and is somewhat quick-ish, I need to be far enough away from the enemy, otherwise I cannot do a jump attack. If I'm too close to the enemies, it will do a super slow stab attack to those enemies, trying to hit them, but, well, often enemies are actually too high or even too low to, well, the battleground, that the stab attack just straight up misses and has no chance of hitting. Which would mean I need to be actually far enough away from the enemies in order for them to be able to get hit. So I'm actually going to equip something else here on Archie, so she hopefully will survive. The Black Onyx gives her more health. And I'm going to equip Cress here with... He is basically a tank right now. But the tank is not going to help me too much. I'm actually going to equip Nightmare Boots, so I'm hopefully moving faster in combat, which might help me in this case a bit more than anything else. I'm going to use heal on Archie before we do anything else. Also going to buy some more orange gummies just to restock them. So the downside is, by the way, in the PlayStation version there is a save point inside the castle. Because it's, well, a battle. It's a thing. So yeah, essentially the battle in the sky, while I love the setup and premise and the story around it, it's just super awkward gameplay-wise. Once again, if you don't know the game and you haven't gotten the explanation earlier, there is two ways you can attack, either long range or short range. And, well, it all depends on whether you are close or far enough away from the enemy. The jump attack, which actually hits all enemies regardless of how high or low they are on the battlefield, well, vertically, I need to be far enough away in order to be able to use that. It's just silly that I can't use it otherwise. Sometimes Archie will use her broom as an attack if she's close enough to the enemies, and that is actually pretty good. The broom will help us tremendously in at least one of the battles if we get into the correct position to use it. But at the same time it can also be dangerous. But this is one of the reasons why you may want to equip a better weapon on Archie. And I mean, you get the new weapon for Archie more or less for free, since you have to pick it up in the Moria mines, or the Moria gallery, otherwise you can't go any further. Also, by the way, about this little cutscene here, if you would like, I recommend you watch the PlayStation cutscene. I personally love this cutscene here, it looks so good for a Super Nintendo game, but the PlayStation version of this cutscene kind of blew me away. No pun intended. So either way, take two. So, in the speedrun, this section here is why you teach Archie Thunderblade. Thunderblade deals pretty decent damage, it's a really quick animation and it's really quick to cast as well. So we absolutely want to keep Archie alive and not have any harpies harm her, since Cress is more or less useless in a lot of cases where, well, you saw it, I could barely move or do anything against those harpies. I was completely helpless once Archie was down. So what I need to do is probably just stand right in front of Archie and not have her get hit by the enemies. Alright, we are finally back. So, first order of operation. I'm going to tell Archie to cast Thunderblade onto the back harpy. And if the harpy in the front comes a little bit closer, another Thunderblade here, I need her to cast the Thunderblade onto the back harpy, and that allows me to more easily deal with them. Okay, one of them down, chicken acquired. So there's a series of battle rather than just a few battles. So, now the main thing is, I said Cress is kind of helpless in a lot of those cases because he just can't hit the enemies. Once again, if I do a regular stab attack, meaning I'm close enough to the enemy, it's super slow and awkward, doesn't deal that much damage. Also, by the way, whenever you attack from afar, once again, I double tap the attack button in order to do a jump attack. My character, Cress here, runs up to the enemies, hits them, runs back. That's an automatic thing. I can interrupt the running back a little bit, but it basically, he makes a slide movement, so I want to be at the proper position away from it. Either way, those guys here are completely immune, not just immune, but absorb any form of spells. So what I want to do is want to use jump attacks onto those guys. But here's the problem, once again. Those little guys are also mages. If I let them basically sit around for too long, they are going to be casting a spell which is going to be pretty harmful. That guy tried to heal. Right now they are being actually incredibly nice. Those little guys have melee attacks that are actually quite devastating. Sometimes they love to spam spells, sometimes they just don't do anything. In this case, they are really nice to you. Also, let me just demonstrate. Well, I can't demonstrate. This is the stabby attack. Super slow, and I would not have hit the little mageling thing that was lower on the battlefield vertically. You just don't hit him. So, either way, here we have some demons, two demons, a current and a Vultura. So, Vultura is the harpy that we saw earlier. Also something worth noting about battles in this game, in case you don't know that yet. Enemies in the back will not go past their allies, as in this lady here will always stay behind this guy unless she tries to do a charge attack and flies beyond them, and that's because they switch position. But as long as I don't get close enough to the harpy here, she will never actually get to attack me, so I can more or less destroy her from a distance. The gargoyles are not nearly as dangerous as the others. They do have a bit more health than the Vulturas, however. I use Ray because that deals more damage to the gargoyles. Two Rays will... Also, by the way, as you can see, the little the Charon thingy gets healed. I just keep that guy over there at bay. So, that guy is dead. Use another Thunderblade in order to deal with the Vultura. Optimally, the two Rays will take out both of those guys immediately. Thunderblade. So, here is also where I want to use my Lemon Gummy to heal Cress quicker. So this guy can be hit by a regular attack, but once again, jump attacks are still stronger. Also, let me demonstrate real quick here. I want Archie to attack, so I'll let her get up close to the enemy. So she is pretty efficient at times. She attacks really quick actually, especially if the enemy cannot back off. So Archie is decent at melee combat. I did not mean to get that to Cress, whatever. But yes, she's actually useful in that sense as well. Life bubble obtained. So, other than that, Here we have 3 demons. 3 demons are easily taken out by 2 rays. My attack there is mainly to just keep the demons together so they don't spread out too much and the ray hits all 3 of them at the same time. Sometimes I need a second attack in order to hit them. Also, often in speedrun you only use 1 ray and destroy each of them with 1 or 2 jumping attacks on total. The life bottle, alrighty. And last but not least, we get into combat. Here we have Ishrantu. Is it Ishrantu again, or is it a different guy? Either way, this is the same dragon that you've met on the battlefield earlier. He's somewhat dangerous-ish, a bit more dangerous here because you are fighting in a more awkward battle, but this is why I kept the yellow cakes around. This guy has so much health. He's not inherently dangerous, but my stab attack, if I'm too close to him, will literally not hit him at all, and he uses diving attacks kind of like the harpies, and I cannot properly hit him since he's too close and just catches up to me way too quickly. It's actually quite a menace to deal with. Thankfully Archie has Ray, which deals decent damage, and here, this is what a yellow cake does. In short, what a yellow cake does is it unleashes the strongest fire move in the entire game. I believe it's called Explosion, and it's just a consumable item that you can use. Boom! 2000 damage to this guy. And I dare to say this is the most worthwhile use. Also, this little Haron here again, he just doesn't care. He's still around. Alright, 2 rays to of those yellow cakes do the trick, and then we just need to deal with this guy. By the way, just to demonstrate, I cannot hit this guy right now. And he uses Thunderblade. So yeah, it's actually just really mean. Also, this isn't a really, really dangerous attack. I just want to finish him off with Archie. This is a really dangerous attack because most of the time when he physically attacks like that, as in becomes a spike ball, he essentially autocasts a lightning bolt on top of that. Actually, maybe not those guys specifically. The other ones in Demitel's battle actually did that. Maybe those here don't do that. I guess they don't, at least it doesn't look like it. Either way, just dealing with this little Haron and we are done here. Whew. SS gained a level, and another level, Archie gained a level, and another level. This is usually the level where Archie gains like 5, 6, 7 levels in a speedrun. That's kind of neat. Yellow cake, better known as uranium. Yes, indeed. Pegasus, we are in your debt. I was only here at Onid's request. Now I'm leaving, and I'm taking Gungnir with me. Oh yeah, I actually forgot to mention what makes this battle even more awkward than before. You may have noticed, I deal okay damage. Gungnir is actually automatically equipped on your character during that battle, and it has its attack doubled. So it's not terrible, but it's still weaker than the Mecha Halberd if you could have that somehow equipped, but that's just how it is. Farewell. Bye-bye. Cress, Archie, are you injured? Nothing we can't recover from. The rest of Dao's forces have retreated. If only we'd poured more resources into developing flight. You've made the king very proud. He wishes to thank you. It's too early for that. Daos is still out there. That's a much more pressing issue. Perhaps, but the battle is won, and for the day anyways. Please rest and we'll talk more tomorrow. Also, take this. It's a book of spells. This book was left on Edward's desk. He told me that if something happened to him, I should give this book to Archie. Edward? Archie learned how to cast the indignation spell. Edward never got to finish his research. I hope that someday, someone continues his work. Indignation. You may have heard that before. Alright then, let's head to Dao's castle. In case you forgot about it, or you just may have not watched the earlier part where we've used it, Indignation induces the wrath of the gods upon the enemies. It's a lightning elemental spell that is actually overall really strong. Like, really strong. I don't want her to auto-cast it, however. I'm just going to let her cast a Fireball or Ice Needle. So it's overall really, really strong. And you may have noted, Indignation was used in the intro cutscene. At the very, very beginning, because before I even got control over any characters. Just saying. Also, by the way, it's worth noting that Cress has unequipped his weapon. I've more than once in a speedrun run into the issue that I forgot to re-equip the weapon since, well, as I said, he automatically equips Gungnir during the air battle, and since I run through many areas without getting encounters, only once I reach the next, let's say, required enemy to fight, I noticed that Crest didn't have a weapon, and that made it super awkward. At least it's not unwinnable, but if you don't notice that you don't have a weapon equipped, that makes it a bit weird. Hi. The fate of Midgard is in your hands now. Do you still say the same thing? Alrighty. We're off to try and defeat Daos now. So, taking it literal is more fun. I mean, the thing about the yellow cake is it literally has the icon of a yellow cake. Like, it's just a cake-shaped yellow thing. Kind of like a cheesecake, even. You can tell the creators of this game had a bit of fun. So these are the Valhalla Plains. Now without enemies running around, and also there's no random encounter still. So this is a kind of a large area. The path to get to Daos Castle is still the exact same as before, so I'm just going to speed through this a little bit. Actually, before I do this, there is one side thing I would like to go for over here. So there are various things on these areas, and I do believe one of them is over here. And I actually don't know whether there's any more, but this is the one I do know about. Is it the one I know about? Oh, never mind, this is not here. I know there is somewhere a swordsman that teaches you a technique in this area. I know exactly how to get through this area, but I don't know where the swordsman is. Let's actually go down here. Just head or keep to the right hand side. Maybe that will help. Or is that the way to go? Nope, that's a different place. Hi, there we are. Hello. You're a swordsman. Want me to teach you a technique? Really? I'll teach you for 50,000 gold. Learn a skill? Sure. Class earned. Earth's Rage. Learned? Learned. May it serve you well. I mean, those abilities all sound really sweet. I definitely have to level up the other stuff soon. Electrical and fire damage. So we already mastered Lightning Bolt, and there's an ability that we don't even know about, Magma Rift. Well, Magma Rift is at least a lot more usable than Dual Kick and, well, the other one. Also, I guess I don't get to demonstrate Gale Shield, but let me just real quick explain it. The Gale Shields, you stick your weapon in the ground in front of you, and it basically, there's energy spheres that emerge from the ground, little projectiles that just go straight up. And enemies get knocked back pretty far when they get hit by any of those, and you can hit an enemy like 5-6 times if you place it right in the enemy. But the thing is, it takes a really long time to set up, and it's kind of slow to set up and then also recover from, so it's a bit of a risk and reward type thing. But the main benefit of this thing is essentially that you can use it when the enemy is pushed to the corner. Like, you just push him all the way back into a corner, and then you just put a Gale Shield right on top of him. This deals, you know how Tiger Blade deals like 1,200 damage? This would deal in the order of 5,000-6,000 damage. It's actually ridiculously strong. If you could set this up on the Isharantu boss, the dragon thingy, in the field, he would be dead insanely fast, but it's so unlikely that he lets you do that. So, I'm going back to using dual kick mainly. I'm actually going to use Tiger Teeth as a secondary, because the enemies are going to get more and more dangerous now, and I need at least one reliable attack. The double kick is not really all that good, really. I mainly use it just to train up. I actually have no idea what's done here. Hang on. Hey God's Black Arm, welcome. How are you doing? Cheesecake is greater than yellow cake? Maybe. Oh, are we back in the main area? Interesting, so I could have just gone from this side. Okay, fair enough. So, I don't know whether there's anything else in here. I probably should actually look at maps in between sessions of this. That way I would be able to figure out whether there's things on the side that we might find interesting. At least in the early portions I'm reasonably confident that I know most of the things, not everything. But as we get later and later, I will probably want to look up and prepare a bit more things. Like, I don't know what is south of here. Up there and right is the exit. And down here I have no clue. Probably just a dead end, because that's kind of what happens usually. I have no clue what this is. I mean, on the right side, the music is really nice. Is this back to the entrance? Whoa! Where are we here? Hang on. I did not know this was here. By the way, in case you're wondering, if you try to leave the battlefield during the war when enemies are around, it actually doesn't let you. Oh, also, little fun story. If you try to run away from the boss, there might be a trainer around here that I forgot about. I do remember there being trainers on the overworld that you can find, but maybe not yet. Codes. Please don't do that to Archie. So either way, you may not remember that I figured out that you can run away from boss battles. And it has some weird effects, like you can just walk around the arena and you don't get into combat, etc. It's really strange. So one of the interesting things about it is also Clark, please don't use spells currently. One of the interesting things about that is, yeah, there's nothing here, that you can run away from Isharantu here in the field. And that was super promising, because if you run away from Isharantu in this battle here, and it's not even that difficult, like you need to survive for about 2 minutes in order to run away from the boss battle, you can just straight up continue over to Gauss Castle and skip a few events. The problem is later that you need to cross the Valhalla plains again at some point for some other reason, let's put it that way. And as soon as you enter the Valhalla plains at that point, you would be stuck in them, because it is essentially in the modus of, hey, you have not defeated the field boss yet. You actually need to go and do that still, and you're not allowed to leave towards a different direction than Dao's castle, because that just doesn't work. So yeah, it was a very high likelihood of working out, but it just doesn't quite work out. Either way, this is Dao's castle, and it's going to be rather dangerous. Let me tell you that, this is going to be tricky. I'm going to be using holy bottles. We will get into plenty of encounters just walking around with holy bottles. And hey, that's a nice mirror. And this statue here found a mystical rune. So this is why I didn't buy a mystical rune. You can't just straight up find one here. I've actually figured this out during my own casual playthrough, and when I was looking at maps to figure out for the speedrun what may or may not be useful, some of the maps just didn't even know about this. It's kind of curious, because there's various statues like that that just don't have anything, and this one does. kind of interesting. But since this was the first statue of this kind that I found personally myself, I just happened to stumble upon that. So we don't need the Sorcerer's Ring anytime soon, so I'm going to give Clark the new Mystic Rune so he can cast spells quicker. And where is Shield from Fire? Trying to think. No, that's not that useful. Let me give you something else instead, my friend. Nightmare Boots, Persian Boots. Right, I could give you Persian Boots. Holy Rune for heal over time. Actually, I'm going to give you the Mental Ring for magic regen over time. And here, I do have Persian Boots still equipped. That's okay. Nightmare Boots and Persian Boots are a really nice combination. Hey Ghost Eye, welcome. How are you doing? So, let's look at those side areas. Aquamantle here. I know the way more or less straight through the castle. Aquamantle and Flame Mantle, interesting. But I don't actually know much about the side areas. Oh, this is... I see. Alrighty, this is basically back to the entrance, this entire entrance hall here. And the only way to progress is further to the right, but there's a door up there that I have no idea what leads to. Ooh, there's vines here. Uh-oh. Oh no, don't get paralyzed. Oh my goodness. Alrighty, Archie and... Here, let's use Indignation. Clark, use Maxwell. Those things at range absorb your magic points. They don't have all that much health, but if you get into close combat and get stunned, you just take damage forever, basically, and they deal so much damage. Let's see Indignation. I don't know whether that deals any damage. 0. Nope, nothing. There's more of those. Let's try Ray. The music in here is so good. Alrighty. Ray is fine. Oh. Thank you for the heal. Guys, come behind me here. Thank you for the heal, mint. So this is why I want Tiger Teeth. Enemies are going to get rather brutal in here. Tyre was all night playing games and watching Lethlin play Shadowrun. That's why you were up, Lethlin. Nice. Ooh, found a question mark weapon. Found a Mecha Halberd. And I found a halberd. Mecha Halberd is 11,000 gold by itself. I don't know what the question mark weapon is. Let me actually see. That's why you were up. Nice. Shadowrun. As in, I believe you play Shadowrun Returns, right? I remember really liking that game, even though I'm not normally into this kind of setting. Slayer Sword. Oh, another Slayer Sword from here. I believe that's also pretty expensive to sell. Nice. Either way, I remember really liking Shadowrun Returns. It's pretty good overall, honestly. So here in this plant flower, these flowers can be made into medicine. Found the Savory and the Sage. So, Savory and Sage, once again, those are items that increase your TP and maximum HP, respectively, and they can switch them between interchangeably. You cannot go through this door, it's locked. In fact, it's a one-way door. So, when you go through here, this door opens, the door on the far left closes. And then here, it's almost as if the game wants us to pick this up. It's a book of spells. Archie learned Firestorm. So, Firestorm is actually pretty high power fire-based spell, and it's really good overall. Like, it's very handy. I'm going to let Archie cast Firestorm just on her own volition. I'm okay with this. Also, I'm going to let Clark cast spells on his own volition too. More specifically, he will just cast Magma. That way, I don't have to command them, and regular battles are still all safer to use spells on, even if they might not be faster. So, the trick about this is, you know the door on the left in the previous room that was closed that I pointed out? you're supposed to go around and then go back here in order to step on the switch again from the same side and then go to the door on the left. But what you can do instead is basically go down and up really quick, just basically do a little wiggle, and then you can just completely ignore that entire mechanic. There is more halberds and mecha halberds in these, more mirrors, cute. Another mecha halberd. By the way, in case you're wondering why I didn't stock up on holy bottles, you actually can't buy any holy bottles in Midgard in the original here. You can buy holy bottles in the remake. So, this is a little puzzle. Up, down, right, left, down, up. Up, down. What? Oh! I did not know that. I did not know that reading the sign actually resets your steps that you took. Nice! I always ran back outside when I made the mistake and redid the thing. So this is actually nicer. Right, left, down, up. Essentially it's just a combination. You could even brute force this without reading the sign if you wanted to. This door over here would not be open otherwise. You thought I had like 3 or 4 hours to go? Nope, 10. Holy cow. Have I played Dragonfall or Hong Kong? I played a little bit of Dragonfall, but not particularly much. Ooh, more mirrors. More mirrors, I like mirrors. Oh, hi. Hello. Am I possessed now? Maybe. Another mirror facing this one will allow you to pass. Another mirror, you say? So we can't just pick up the mirrors that are here and paste them against each other. There's more mirrors on the left and right here. I have no idea what's in here. Another mirror. Okay. We will come back here. Don't worry. We will come back here. So I don't know what's on the left and the right. Ooh, chests. Let's see. Enemies. Ooh, here we have Iron Man and Dullahans. Dullahans are mystical creatures that don't actually have a head. Iron Golem's defense and evasion as such is incredibly high. Dullahans almost never take much damage from spells, but the Iron Golems are reasonably squishy to spells. Except for fire. Archie, can you try something else? Like... I don't even know what he wants. Let's try Tractor Beam. Maybe that helps on those guys. Did they just heal themselves? Oh, there's a druid in the back. Druid are enemies that can heal. Is less than ideal. Maxwell! So Maxwell initially sometimes passes through the Iron Golem because the Iron Golem is too close to him. Yeah, alrighty. Let me actually use Indignation on the druids back here so they stop healing, preferably. I think that should hit them. Nope, the druids absorbed that. Wow. 3,800 damage healed. Well, that's just removed through Maxwell. Okay, let's try Firestorm on the druids. Maybe Firestorm on druids is better. Oh my goodness, I don't usually fight those. Okay, Firestorm is pretty good on druids. Also, Firestorm has a really reasonably quick animation. Oh, here's another problem. If you... The golem loves to just hit you really, really quickly, so if you are too close combat to them and you can't get away from them, you are in trouble. Kind of like that. Barrier, I actually have no idea what it does. Probably increases your defense slightly. That Iron Golem has so much health, by the way. Whew, maybe I should have Moose Maxwell on the druids instead. Tiger Teeth Mastered. Yeah, I'm going to keep using that one though, I'm not going to exchange it. Dragonfall and Hong Kong are really well done. I did not even know there was another one actually, but sounds good. We're going to run out of resources if I fight too many things, so just, I guess, rationing the holy bottles is fine. Orange gummy's found, but we cannot use anymore. Actually, let's use the orange gummy here on Clark, and also Archie and Mint. Keep channeling their TP. Orange gummy, life bottle found. Also, I should have just used the holy bottle while I was at it. Chests. Ooh, a wooden chest. Apple gummy found. And a rune rod found. Rune rod I believe we already have, don't we? Yes, we do. Interesting. And what is here? Another apple gummy. So just kind of a little side area with not a whole lot of it. You can safely ignore that. I have no idea what's on the left. Let's go to the left. More of those. Life bottles. Orange gummies. And apple gummies. Okay. Basically just little restock areas. Kind of nice. Especially life bottles. I seem to need them. Oh boy. Dragon. So, you want to use Firestorm on those dragons. They are actually surprisingly weak to them. Maxwell also deals really nicely with them, but since Firestorm hits all enemies equally, I prefer using Firestorm generally speaking. Once again, those Charons are completely immune to spells, but the Firestorm just took them out. No problem. Actually, guys, I don't actually know whether Maxwell can hit the Charons. I know Archie will just straight up heal that guy. Okay, Maxwell actually is non-elemental and kills Charons. But Archie would be able to kill those little guys. I should probably maybe make her manually controlled. By the way, we got another question mark weapon. Let's take a look at it. We could get lucky here, because those dragons can drop a really, really nice weapon. Nope. Did we get 2 question mark weapons? I don't think we did. So, this is a longsword. They either drop a longsword or something that is actually really good. Alrighty, what is this room? By the way, there's no encounters in this room, in case you're wondering. Isn't that the same language that was written in the Moria Gallery? Archie, can you read it? Why would there be the same language here? Weird. As in, I'm genuinely curious. I don't know. It says we need to press the switches on both sides at the same time. Huh? Chris, let's try it. So, here, Archie. Well, Chris, are you ready to go? Archie is a little bit of a troll, let me put it this way. So, hitting the switches at the same time for the first 2 is easy enough. And then Archie's just being a troll. The thing is, this is actually pretty tricky. I did not deliberately fail this, but here's a fun fact. In the... also I messed it up already. In the PlayStation version, if you fail this often enough, Clark and Mint will just kind of get annoyed at you and say, "Oh, come on!" Something along the lines of, "It really can't be that hard. Stop fooling around, guys." I messed it up again. Good job. And essentially they will go and just do it first try, no problem, perfectly in sync. It's amazing. But Arch is a real troll here. I don't think... she may... they may do the same in the Game Advance version. There we go. You did it! Yeah, not thanks to you. Here's a nice save point. You know what people say about RPGs and save points? Something is coming up? Yeah, that's actually not true for this game. I believe that's just a stake or something here. Protect ring and a rune bottle. I was wrong. Okay. Arch is adorable. Yeah. Something like that. Stake found. That was the stake that I had in mind. And what do we have in here? Battle rune. Ooh, I did not know there was a battle rune right around here. Battle rune increases your attack power by 10%. So by the way, this entire castle is actually pretty tricky to traverse. So on the left there was a switch. We cannot actually... well, we need something to stay on the switch, let's put it that way. The thing about this castle is it can stump you a little bit. It doesn't have too many grand puzzles, but there's one silly thing that you may just not know about, and it stumped me for a while when I played through this game casually. You will soon see. So the statue holds this one down, and ladies and gentlemen, once again, I love this game because it realizes certain things. We step on the switch, we step off of it, well, we need something to stay on the switch, and there's no statues around, so what do? This door will only stay open if someone stays here on the switch to keep it pressed down. Who will you leave behind? So we can actually just straight up leave someone behind, and you have to, by the way. So yeah, this game actually realizes that there's more to a party than, oh, we have nothing to hold down the switch, even though we are a party of 4, so we have to go back. No, you can just go on. Those are all the little things, kind of like like earlier in the prison where they took away our weapon and shields. This game thinks of a lot of those little things. It has so much attention to detail. Someone related the depths of these Shadowrun games releasing a Battletech mecha based RPG. Interesting. Somewhat related indeed. Who do we leave behind? So, while I really like Mint, she can easily be substituted for now. I need attack power in order to get through the battles, I feel. I'm going straight for the next section, because we can explore this place here with 4 characters a little bit later once we are through. So I'm going to do that eventually. Larf summons Maxwell. Oh my goodness. Firestorm heals them. Indignation. Does the indignation work? Maxwell works pretty well with those, but if we don't get a high roll Maxwell, it can actually be pretty... It can take a while until it works. Let's see. Okay, Indignation works really well. 2500 damage, they're weak to that. Which, by the way, reminds me, I kind of forgot to... Here, we have spy lenses. We have 7000 HP total. No TP. Maybe the thunderclap here would actually be useful. Light weakness. Oh, it's light, not light. Wait, light and lightning might be the same thing in this game. Either way, hoot hoot, Nemesis Owl! Morg, the Morg, thank you so much for subscribing. 7 months in a row. Welcome back, my friend, and well, I'm glad you enjoy your stay. That is really nice of you. That Maxwell, by the way, is not necessary. They will die to next indignation. I probably should stop using dual kick here. It just doesn't deal anything. Fury Slash learned. Oh boy. Well, we'll stop using dual kick right now because Fury Slash has been acquired. So, Tiger Teeth is really good, but Fury Slash is insane. Gather energy and focus into one extra powerful slice. So that is amazing. Oh, by the way, I actually forgot to point out another ability that we learned quite a while ago. Sorry about that. Focus. This is essentially boosting your attack by 20%. It's kind of like a flare bottle that you can use in combat. It's not bad, but I generally don't use it because flare bottles are easy enough to come by and we restock frequently enough. Alrighty. Here we are. So yeah, thank you so much, Morg. Welcome back. You're awesome. Let's see. This is a guardian. He's guarding a treasure chest. And ladies and gentlemen, in the speedrun, I want the Firestorm spell, but I don't go and pick it up where we picked it up earlier, because you can interact with this guy from one step away, and when you do, it's a book of spells. Archie learned Firestorm. Why? Coincidence, I imagine. I have no idea why. It just works.
This treasure is forbidden!
Alrighty, this is a mini-boss fight. It is a required fight. Archie, I want you to use Firestorm here. Maxwell can hopefully take out these guys. By the way, there's these evil lords at the backside there. If we are super lucky, a single Maxwell can take on evil lord. They are also weak to fire, so they will take a lot of damage from them. And fire is indeed their weakness. Maxwell, however, can just deal over 3,800 damage. Oh my god. So yes. Oh wow. And Furious Slash so far haven't really helped me. So Maxwell and Firestorm are just kind of carrying us through this area here. And we get a question mark weapon and a rune bottle. Rune bottle is always a guaranteed drop from those guys. And the question mark weapon, that can be really interesting. I need to heal up through using apple gummies because we don't have mint with us right now. But let's see. We did get question mark weapon. Alright, it's another longsword unfortunately. And here we get a magic mirror. Remember what the thingy earlier said about using a mirror on a mirror and then we can pass through? Yes, that is the magic mirror need. It's basically a key that allows us passage. And we're just going to go back to get mint. Why is it called Maxwell? Basically, Maxwell, I don't know why it's called Maxwell, but Maxwell is the lord of all earthly elements. It's a summon spirit. It would actually be interesting as to if they have a specific reason as to why they call it Maxwell, or whether there's something else about it. I don't know. I genuinely have no idea. But it's really good. I need to use my apple gummies here too. Firestorm actually has a really decent chance at one-shotting this dragon. And Maxwell deals with those guys other than that. Actually, let me tell Archie to not cast any spells so we don't accidentally heal that hard on. So far, I've not managed to land a single Furious Slash because it had such a long bind-up time. But you may have just seen I dealt 1,200 damage with a single swipe. So Furious Slash is incredibly strong. It's a bit difficult to use because it takes a while. So there's that. Another question mark weapon from a dragon. Let's see. Oh, and it's not a longsword this time. This is a Moonphalanx. A sword with a faint glow to it. 260 slice and attack is 200. It is light element. And guess what? Almost all of the enemies around here are weak to. Yeah. Pretty good. Yes. Well, Maxwell is neutral element in a sense. Hi. Who's going to stay behind? No one. I need to take you back with me as well right now. So, we are just moving back through the castle to the mirror rooms in order to get basically the key that we need in order to move on. Actually, it is literally a key. Oops. Maxwell was a famous physicist. I see. I like that idea. So by the way, that room where we did the minigame, it does not have encounters and it reset my step counter, which is why we didn't get into encounters until now. And now I use the holy bottle, which grants me 255 steps of no encounters. Alrighty, I don't know what is behind most of those mirrors, but we don't seem to be able to use a mirror here. Okay, so, actually I didn't even think about that, but it looks like we can only pass through the mirrors that has these things behind them. The mirror begins to glow. Watch out! And we get into another mini-boss fight, where Archie will shine with Firestorm. Flartus destroys them with Maxwell. By the way, I just dealt 3000 damage with that attack right there. Okay, Maxwell should take this guy out, hopefully. These evil lords are a lot like Demetel. Bam! Bam! Almost 4000 damage with a Furious Slash. You can see why I like this attack. It's really good. The mirror draws you through. So, with the magic mirror, we can now pass through certain mirrors, and this is just a treasure room. You don't have to go through here, but it's actually a really nice little room with a bunch of treasure that is actually quite helpful and valuable. Which is why we picked that up. So here we have Hourglass, 10,000 gold, Lavender, Elixir, and White Mist. Hourglass alone is just worth going through here, which is actually the reason why I go through here in a speedrun. The right side does not have anything in particular that interests us. I don't actually know what exactly it is, I just know it's not all that great. I am actually going to tell Clark not to cast spells, because now I have a Moonfallux. And as long as I hit the enemies before they hit me, which apparently is a problem, I will deal a lot of damage to them, but those Dullahans are just really fast at times, so it can be really difficult to actually deal damage to them. At least with abilities that are kind of slow, such as Fury Slash. So this is why I still have Tiger Teeth. Tiger Teeth is still decent damage and it's way faster to execute. He always saw the orb surrounding him as a reference to his research on electromagnetic magnetic fields. Interesting. Possible. Nurse. Heal up everybody. So, this is another magic mirror where we can get through. I want Maxwell to hit this guy on the back. And then a Firestorm just in case it doesn't hit. Or doesn't kill anyways. Okay, that killed. Firestorm will kill that Draken in front of us and deal decent damage to the Evil Lord. And then I just use the Moonfallux to destroy this guy. Because Fury Slash and Moonfallux is just 4,000 damage, and sometimes they block. There we go, 5,400 damage, because that was a critical hit on top of it. So yeah, pretty good. So this is where we have to go through. I don't think we've seen any other mirrors give that kind of reflection to us, so we don't have to explore the side areas. Except for side areas, speaking of which, there's stuff over here. Here we have an armlet, rune bottle, and magical broom. I don't know how good a magical broom is, but I guess it's better. This room was brought here by a mage from another world. Okay, might as well equip it. I don't remember what an armlet is, to be completely honest with you. So, let's take a look at that. Armlet decreases the amount of time one is rendered unconscious by half. Oh, I see. Basically, armlet is against getting stunned in battle. You know when those little birds are around your head? That's the armlet. Hey Toasted Circling, welcome, how are you doing? And also Metalware, thank you for the host, I appreciate that. This is very casual percent, which is why we don't have a timer here. We're just walking through the story. So, this board reads, just do the opposite of what you did before, mirrored basically the other way around. It's still up and down is the same, but left and right is different. Just opposing. Gold key found. So the gold key is what we need to progress further. We have one more holy bottle. Actually less than I would like to have, because... yeah... oh well. Back through the mirror. Speedwalk indeed. And this castle here is actually one of the more difficult portions, because, as I said, you cannot, in a speedrun setting by the way, in a speedrun setting I aim to never get into any random encounters whatsoever, ever. And it's actually really difficult because you're working with just only 10 holy bottles total, because you need at least 5 to get through the power of the stars. So yeah. This area is pretty large and it was pretty difficult to route in my opinion. Either way, we step on the switch again, who we will leave behind. This time we leave behind Archie. So here's the thing. This is what stumped me for a while. Archer's going to stay behind, that's fine. This stumped me for a while, so how do you get 4 people here? If you move on a little bit further, you will get to a door where it literally tells you you need to have at least 4 party members in order to get there. So here we can use a gold key, but this area here doesn't initially seem to have anything of particular interest in it either. So it's kind of weird in that you might be just kind of stumped as to what to do. But Fury Slash is one of the few abilities that Cress has that you cannot master, which is unfortunate because it actually is so good that you just use it the entire time. Boom. Orange gummies, nice. So either way, you get to this room here, and unless you specifically leave Archie behind, for obvious reasons you will see in a cutscene, nothing will happen. Hey, look down there. It's Archie. Hey Archie! Archie, up here! I'm coming, I'm coming! That room of yours sure comes in handy. So Archie can fly. At the same time, also charm bottle here. At the same time, I really like this mini puzzle here, and also really, I'm not sure I should like it, because it's essentially, how are you supposed to figure out that you need to leave Archie behind? I mean, a trick is that the game has multiple times now really used the effect that Archie indeed can fly. And you are also noted that this is the room where we push the statue down to stick on the switch below, but that is behind that door. But you can still see Archie down there. It's a bit weird. Yes, what Lethan said. I've done a playthrough of this with the fan translation before, also last Holy Bottle, goodbye. But it's kind of a while ago. Use the gold key. Ooh. I have no idea what's in here. Dragon Steak, Silver Cape, Dragon Steak, and a Dragon Steak. Alright, Dragon Steaks. This beef has been spiced to taste like dragon meat. Oh, it's beef? Oh, come on. I thought that was from dragons. So, food increased to 2000. That's a lot of food. Not too bad, actually. Silver Cape is an interesting one. A Silver Cape is a equipment piece that only Mint and Archie can wear. And the thing about it is, this girl's mantle has a 30% chance to negate fire attacks. It's okay as an item. I do believe you can use a rune bottle on it, if I'm not mistaken though. I don't exactly know what happens, but it's decent as a defensive thing. I don't actually know whether it really negates fire attacks or whether it's just a 30% protection. But we can make a princess cape out of it. This translucent silk hood has a 50% chance to negate fire. We're going to give this to Mint. I don't think we're going to face fire attacks anytime soon, but it also increases defense and the walk speed. So she's a princess now. So yeah, I actually did not know this was over here. You don't need it, but it can be nice, I guess. There's nothing to the left here, I don't think. There is one room to the left here, which I have no clue what's in there. Just a path over here, okay. More dragons, and Maxwell, please. Archie, cast Firestorm, please. And give it a heal. So unfortunately the Haron also gets hit by the Firestorm, so it will get healed. But on the bright side, oh, that's bad. Ha! So the Druid is apparently absorbing light element, and, well, I literally can't hit the Druid with my attack, otherwise I'm going to heal it, which I basically just did. Maxwell is going to don't attack, do the trick here. Thanks to the Mystic Rune on Clarf and also Archie, they cast spells really fast. It wouldn't be much slower, but it's noticeably slower, let's put it that way. Question mark, weapon acquired. It could be more Moonfalux. If we get more, they are nice for selling, but that's about it. So there's a path just through here. Oh, interesting. So this is the exact same way as I would normally go if you just instead go straight to the right. To this room here. So this is the room where you need 4 people. And the game will tell you that we need 4 people, but how do you get 4 people here? And that's what kind of stumps you for a while. Sometimes anyways. A naughty symbol. What does it mean? It means we need 4 people facing 4 different directions and their power can open the door. It opened. Indeed it did open. Kind of convenient, isn't it? Just works like that. And... well... another boss. Hi, how are you doing?
You'll never make it to the house.
That's unfortunate, because I kind of need to go there. So trying to hit max ball on the back dude there, firestorm on back guy as well. Using flare bottles here. Unfortunately, arching falling is not particularly pleasant. Nice. Boom. Good night, sir. Silence learned. Silence can actually be quite useful. Of Mint's arsenal, silence is probably one of the more useful spells. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to be facing a boss. And I will want to be prepared for that. So, I need to heal up everybody. I'm going to equip certain specific equipment. Persian boots are good for defensive purposes. I'm also going to equip an Onyx here on Cress, so he has more maximum HP. I'm going to switch my weapon back to the Mecha Halberd, because neutral element is more useful. Then I need to rearrange my party. I'm going to put everybody at the far back, especially Mint, because I need her to heal. I'm going to put Cress a bit further up front, actually all the way front. Then I need to heal Cress back up to full basically, and I'm also going to use Orange Gummies to give Mint her TP back. Clark's TP is fine, Archie would need full TP. Then, let's see. You want to equip something on Archie specifically. Mystic Rune is needed. I would like to have... this might be one of the few cases where a protection ring might be useful. Absorbs only 1 physical attack, but that can be all that is necessary. And on Clark I'm going to use a resist ring. Resists 1 magical attack. Which I hope the magical attack will never happen, but, well, might still be useful. I think it's a chance ghost eye. Alrighty, I think we're ready. Before we go, I'm just going to briefly go back and save. Oh, right. If you go back, you need to open the door again. Hi, we haven't seen you in a while. Dolls! There you are. This is it! You're mine! Oh? What's wrong? Afraid? You should be! What are you doing here? I have no quarrel with you. Oh, but I've got a reason to fight with you! So, you're nothing more than Midgard's pawns? I suppose I've got no choice but to kill you. This is it, dolls. You're finished! He tells us he has no quarrel with us, but, well, we kind of have quarrel with him. Alrighty. Let me explain my tactic while I'm also trying to execute it at the same time. He is weak to indignation. And I need apple gummy and also need mint to heal a lot. So, Maxwell deals a little bit of damage. It's not too bad, but it can add enough damage that it can be relevant. You may also notice that I'm not actually attacking those little evil lords right in front of those. This has a reason. Indignation deals a lot of damage to this guy. I need more heal. I'm just immediately going to spam apple gummies on Cress as soon as he takes any damage. Ooh, that's better than damage. Good job, Clark. So, Maxwell is mostly for security. You don't want to normally use it here. But Indignation does 5,535 damage. It's incredibly powerful. Really, really good. So the reason why I'm not attacking those evil lords is because they are essentially protecting me from dolls. Ooh, we're getting better numbers here with Clark. Nice. Heal. Those evil lords are essentially protecting me from... Ooh, good thing you defended. Are essentially protecting me from dolls. You might be wondering, how does that... Why? How's it protecting you? Well, basically... As soon as I defeat those evil lords, Dals is going to unleash his full fury of attacks at us. Don't worry, you'll get to see that sometime. But at this point, it is more reasonable for me to try and prevent that from happening as much as possible. And so I'm just basically having Crest in the far front, trying to tank the damage whatever those little demons throw at us. Which, well... Unfortunately, sometimes some of those little crystals end up getting back to us. I'm also only hitting those little demon thingies just so they would stop attacking for a while. I don't want to damage them, but this is kind of the way I can survive for a short while longer. This is an incredibly difficult fight if you did any differently. It's not impossible, mind you. It's not even too insane, but this is the most direct road to victory, let's put it that way. Also need orange gummy here on Clark to use Maxwell again. Thank you for the heal. I probably want to use that apple gummy. Unless Daus is defeated here. Alrighty, Daus is defeated. So this is awkward because as soon as Daus is defeated, the camera scrolls all the way to the left for quite a while, and it doesn't stop being to the left. Unless there's a spell cast. So, alrighty, Maxwell just finished off the rest, and we win. Sweet. You may have missed it, however, Daus disappeared in a very specific way. Indesk in the level, Clark in the level, Archie in the level, Chase Ring, and Rune Model acquired. We will take a look at those Chase Rings sometime.
No, he vanished. Damn you, dolls. Do you hear me? Someday you'll pay for the death of my family.
Yes. What now?
Well, we're not doing anything here. We'd best head back. And we are back in Albanista, where Runglum, well, is here. There you are.
I'm so sorry. I know how much Edward meant to you.
It's not your fault. He did what he had to do. I have a letter here from Edward.
It's a goodbye.
He gave me this key and told me to take care of you now that he's unable to do so himself. He gave me this key and told me to take care of you now that he's unable to do it so himself. Interesting. What is this key for? I wonder whether this is a case of lost in translation or whether this is more of a case of he actually implied that Edward was here again. Not sure. I don't know. Let's go to Edward's house and see what Lilith can tell us.
Runglum, what a pleasant surprise.
Long time no see, Lilith. I wish I could be here under happier circumstances.
I'm a survivor, Runglum. Sometimes I don't even think about him being gone for good. He was here for so little of the time when he was alive.
We need to get into Edward's library.
Well, I had no problem with that, but the room is locked.
Is this the key?
Yes. Where do you find it?
Edward gave it to me in a letter.
Well then, follow me. This is the library.
Edward was researching something no one had ever dreamed of. Time travel was always thought to be impossible. And all his notes are here? In short, the ancient city of Thor was sunk deep into the ocean, but supposedly they had time travel technology.
Thor? The ancient civilization in the legends? Even if Thor exists, how are we going to get into the bottom of the ocean?
The city would still be relatively intact, but the book doesn't say how to get there. I don't think my magic could help. Perhaps there's something I can do. Well, perhaps there is something you can do. So, what will you do now? I estimated that Thor was about 100 kilometers northeast of Venezia. Well, I'd go with you, but I need to get back to Alvanista. Well then, let's catch up a ship from Venezia.
We've got to save the Tree of Life before we go, or magic and mana will surely die.
That's true. If we can't use our magic, the Naus will kick the living crap out of us. Blunt, Archie, but it does get the point across. Wait, I don't understand. Then we've got to save the tree first. Save magic in this time, then head to Thor. Yes, indeed. So, essentially, in case you didn't catch that, because that might be a bit weird, what they're saying is that unless we save the tree, the mana tree, in this current time, we will not have any magic in 100 years if we time travel back to 100 years. They never really necessarily specified as to why we want to time travel, but here's the thing. Daos actually escaped through time travel after we defeated him. This is something we technically knew through Legends, or Mint and Cress at least knew, and that is essentially how Cress's and Mint's parents, and also Tornix Morrison, ended up just kind of capturing Daos in the sarcophagus. It kind of all comes together. After this battle here, in ancient times 100 years ago, Daos escapes through time into the future, where he gets captured for about 10 years, and then gets freed through, well, the events that we saw at the beginning of the game. And we are trying to time travel to go after him, essentially, now. So, but if we go after him now, without doing anything in the past, well, in this time we are in right now, the Tree of Mana will be completely destroyed, and there's no magic to actually fight Daos with. So, Daos can literally not be hurt by physical attacks. At least that is what the game likes to tell us. How it effectively works out mechanics-wise is that whenever I hit Daos with any physical attack, he would immediately heal it back up. Like I deal 2000 damage with a single swing, he heals for 2000. If I use an hourglass and hit him like 5 times for 2000 damage each, that is 10,000 damage, as soon as the hourglass wears off, he would heal for 10,000 damage. So he heals for a lot. But interestingly enough, there's basically kind of a mechanic where if he is under half of his life, he will only heal half of the physical damage back. Once he is under 25% of his life, he will actually not heal any physical damage back at all anymore. So essentially, his power weakens, and you can keep hitting him after a while you deal physical damage. But initially you need to damage him with magic in order to bring him low enough for that to happen. So, that is how this game works mechanics-wise. And we actually go in here before we go anywhere else. Kitty!
Hi. I'll protect Mom and Lilena. Lilena? Oh, I actually never knew that Edward E. Morrison did indeed have kids. Well, that's that. I always said I never saw kids, but that's probably because I never went back in here. Even though Dad left us, I don't cry about it. He really was a good father to us. Hi. Edward's wife, Lilith. My husband is always with us. Indeed. Alrighty. So, there's a few things we can look for here. Maybe there's some book or spells in here that we may not know about yet. Well, I wouldn't know about it yet. Also, I probably want to equip chat boots again so I can actually run around if necessary. Who is going to get chat boots? Can you equip chat boots, Archie? There, she can equip chat boots. Oh, Chase Ring, right. We wanted to take a look at that. So, the Chase Ring is a really interesting accessory. What does it do? It reduces your TP costs of all spells by 1/3. That's already amazing. But it gets even better. If you use a rune bottle on it... Dum 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 dum. Can I find any rune bottles? There they are. If you use a rune bottle on it, it gets even better. Also, we can have 2 moon phalanxes now. We get a fairy ring. Decreases the TP needed to use magic by 1/2. This is insanely good. And who is going to get that? Well, normally I would give it to Mint, but in this case I'm going to give it to Clarf or Maxwell Spam. Because I feel like that is going to be my main use of magic or TP overall for now. Oh, that's an amazing item. So, either way, we can go back up the stairs into the library as it is called. In the library apparently there is a bed too. Let's see if there's anything in the bookshelves. Doesn't look like it. Can we take a look at the notes? Nope. That's a really high desk. Crest is barely tall enough to look up with it. But there's something in the bed. I know that. No? Are you sure? Maybe that's the PlayStation version that I remember. Either way. I thought there was something in the bed here. Might be the PlayStation version. Does someone remember? It might not be here. I might be remembering something else instead. Maybe it's the other bed. Hang on. Nope, not here. Okay. I don't want to spoil what it is, because there are going to be guaranteed some of those kinds of things later, and it's going to be neat to see. But there should be... I thought there was a thing there. Either way, we're moving on for now. Maybe it's at some other time where I can visit a similar building. We are back in Alvanista, which means we can finally go and restock our supplies. I'm going to do that immediately. Also, we currently have a lot of items that we just never need, like Dragon Stick, that we can just sell and get rid of for, well, more space. We're never going to use ice emitters anymore. Resist rings, they can be situationally useful. Talismans I'm never going to use. Heavy stones I'm never going to use. We actually might use spy lenses if I don't forget about them. Medicine bottle can be potentially useful, but whatever. It's okay. Dark bottles, I don't have any use for those right now. Well, if I'm going to do offline grinding for abilities to reach 100%, so we can use combine abilities, I might have use for them. Bread is 2 bucks, mantles, verbena, we keep those. Question mark weapons, those are longswords. Longswords are some of the few weapons you can actually straight up sell as question mark weapons. Others, or most of the others, you have to identify first. Flame mantle, holy rune. I think if I want to use a holy rune, I can just get a new one. Rabbit's foot, we don't use. Slayer sword, 5,000 gold, nice. Gorgon amulet, protects the bear from petrification. I'm actually going to keep that. Might be useful, I don't know. Nightmare boots, Japanese apples we sell. Sirloin steak we sell. Essentially I'm just cleaning up inventory. Poison amulet. So the thing is, poison amulets, not getting poisoned is nice, but your accessory slots are limited and they are so much more powerful and important things to equip there that it's just not useful. Basilisk scale, we keep those.
for emergencies. Well, if we survive the emergencies anyways. Mecha halberds, we can sell those now. We have one equipped anyways, so I want to keep at least one mecha halberd. Neutral weapon damage is incredibly useful. Stakes we sell. Elixirs I'm never going to use. Armlets. I may have to read up what armlets really do. I think that's the little chirp chirp around your head that get reduced. Moonfallox, we have actually 2 more. Do I keep one? No, we just sell both of them. Protect ring might get useful. Alrighty, we have 272,000 gold now. A lot of gold. It's also really useful. Didn't I buy mixed gummies? Wait, I died after I died mixed gummies. Right, that's why. Remedy bottles, flare bottles, medicine bottles. Let's just buy medicine bottles too. And we need to buy holy bottles as well. So, our next task is to somehow save the Tree of Mana and then also get to the city of Thor, which we apparently are supposed to reach through Venetia, and Clark hasn't exactly told us how he can help us, but apparently he can help us with that. So, how do we even begin to, well, figure out how to save the Tree of Mana? Honestly, I'm curious if there's anything happening. I don't know. I actually don't know. If we go back to the Tree of Mana and ask Martel about it. I mean, I know how to progress. Don't get me wrong, but I'm curious whether there's going to be something more. Cargo ship to Bellatum, which will get us pretty close over there. Once again, I would like to point out the amazing face of a boat when it's facing directly towards south. Just kind of, it looks at you kind of tired. Then the Mana Sword. Something like that. Also, in the meantime, I'm going to equip no more Fury Slash, but instead we are going back to Dual Kick. We need 29 more dual 29 more dual kicks, and we already mastered Tiger Teeth. And 28 Blade Storms. I'm just going to not use any holy bottles and just spam Dual Kick essentially. I'm also going to tell you... Actually, that's already good. That's fine. Our strategy should also still be the same. So, Spirit Forest. Let's see. Dual Kick. I'd like to point out that I deal 60 damage with a Dual Kick in the first jump attack. And those are super weak enemies. But, well, I just want to practice the Dual Kick. It's so silly. Yada! Actually okay with missing. Because it still will practice the Dual Kick. Also, once again, the reason why I don't actually run in dungeons, in case you're wondering, is, I guess, twofold. The main reason is because it doubles the chance, or actually not the chance, it gets us into encounters literally exactly twice as quick in terms of step count. Not just because we are moving faster, mind you, we only get half as many steps compared to walking until we get into the next encounter. The tree is dying. Stand back, everyone. This is going to be the most powerful spell I'll ever cast. Interesting, I've never seen this. And Mint just cast Nurse, which is the most powerful healing spell she has. Ooh. Oh. Didn't quite work. I wonder if I'll have the power to heal this tree. We can't give up now. I think the leaves look greener now. Thanks, Archie. Oh, that's adorable. So yeah, I was actually wondering whether the game would give you any hint as to what you need to do next. Because here's the thing. Actually, no, I'm not going to explain it. I'm just going to go and see whether we can find a place where I need to go in the meantime. Oh, whoops, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to use a lightning bolt. You'll see very, very soon. It doesn't take us too long. Either way, just practicing dual kick up. So, those combination abilities are some of the things I have never actually completed. Like, I have no idea how they even look, how they work, how they function, because my basic attacks with Fury Slash and the likes, they have always been sufficiently good. And I do remember practicing up dual kick high enough to actually get the dual kick and Demon Fang ability, and I wasn't impressed. I remember it was more or less literally just both dual kick and Demon Fang, just one after another. I could do this myself, basically, is what my thought was. I don't actually know whether that's true anymore, or whether that's just kind of my impression at the time. Let me see something real quick.
I don't know how to save the spirits, but I can feel their power slowly ebbing away from our world.
Oh.
Stay here for a while.
Okay. Take a nap? Sure. Wow. Okay. So this is what I was talking about.
This is little Mint. Mother.
Mint's mother, Meryl.
What is it, Mint? They're beautiful!
Oh, my earrings?
Yes, may I have them? I'm sorry, I can't give them to you.
Oh, why not?
Your grandma gave these to me when I became a healer. So they're your favorite?
Yes.
Pretty horsey.
It's not a horse, it's a unicorn. The symbol of healing.
Thimble?
Tell you what, take this hat until the day I give you my earrings.
Thanks, Mommy.
And this is how Mint got her hat. It's a little bit big, but very stylish, Mint. I believe in the PlayStation version it actually slumps over her head just a little bit. It's kind of adorable. Oh no! Oh no! Oh no! When did I last save? That's actually very interesting. So, alrighty. The reason why I was surprised that the cutscene here takes place is because there's a little cutscene after that cutscene too. And essentially, the 3 locations where you can nap, on all locations the cutscene is just there. It plays out the same, but the characters are in different positions, so the creators need to account for that, and that is kind of a lot of attention to detail. The thing is, I wonder whether we can still see this after cutscene. No. So there's that too. Interesting. And we see you, Reticularis. Thank you. I like you too. Stay a while and listen. I'll not use Lightning Bolt. I want to use Dual Kick. Creamy Cheese acquired, Creamy Crease acquired. I really hope that we would have mastered the Dual Kick right there. Let me get into encounter before entering the city here. Then we go to the next inn. So, basically, Mint's mother had horse earrings. Well, actually, unicorns. Might seem slightly familiar, by the way. And, well...
Dual Kick Master, Scion Kick can be used, Bolt Crash can be used. Nice, I want to try those. And well... I'm going to tell you a little bit more about it as soon as we see whether it's going to work out with the inn here. If not, unfortunately, I will just tell you what is going to happen. Scion Kick and Bolt Crash. I think I've used Scion Kick before. I'm curious about the Bolt Crash though. So there's an inn here? To the right? I guess it's to the right. Go. Enjoy your stay, thank you. Do I think there will be a Tales of Phantasia 100% once? I would not know what constitutes a 100% run for this though. Alrighty, unfortunately it doesn't seem to happen. So, what is supposed to happen right after we... essentially wake up from our sleep and Mint had that dream. It's a flashback slash dream. Which, by the way, only occurs if you know about unicorns. You know that lady in Alvanista I pointed out way back when I said, hey, she talks about unicorns. You actually need to talk to that lady in order for that cutscene to occur. I don't know the exact conditions, but this is kind of one of the conditions. Ooh, what was that? So I don't know the exact conditions as to what you need to do in order for that cutscene to occur, but that is basically one of them that works. As in, there might be other triggers that allows you to have that flashback cutscene, but that's the one I know about. Let's see whether this one here might work. And greetings to you, Adventures Rec. Welcome. How are you doing? Same as Secret Mana would be. Have to define it. I guess so. What we could try, maybe, is to the bottom of a dungeon later on. Let's not spoil it. Also, by the way, from here, we are supposed to take... the path over to... well... where the city of Thor is supposedly to have been sunken, but we need to save the mana tree first, one way or another. And oh, there we go. There's another cutscene. I actually forgot this one even existed. I love traveling by sea. This only occurs after the flashback cutscene with Mint earlier, by the way. I was thinking, about what? I think it's possible that I could heal the Tree of Life with my mana, but I can't do it alone. What do you mean by that? We need the help of the unicorn. The unicorn? The unicorn is the symbol of healing aspect of mana. I'm sure it can help us. You really think the unicorn will help us? Well, I don't know. Well, that's all we've got to go on, so let's go find this unicorn. Thanks, Glass. Well, the sooner the better. We should find someone who knows more about where to find this beast. Indeed. Actually, I might have this backwards. Actually. Maybe now we were supposed to talk to the lady about unicorns. This boat cutscene might actually happen first, whenever you take the boat over to Alvanista, or this also happens when you take the boat over to the desert from Alvanista. Either one is fine. But this lady here is the one that talks about unicorn. My grandmother told me that the unicorn lives in the white forest to the west of the Valhalla Plains. The unicorn will only meet the most pure of girls. So you need to talk to that lady, and actually, in order to advance the plot, like, you literally can't meet a unicorn without talking to her. I know that much, but maybe have the order of this event backwards. Either way, in the little cutscene that Mint basically has after she wakes up from a dream, she just stands at the window looking outside, and Cress is asking her, what are you doing? What is going on? Are you okay?
you actually have to sleep, but you don't have to have the boat cutscene in order to progress the story. So there's that. Just spamming Blade Storm, hoping to master it sooner rather than later. We've dropped this game somewhere around this stage. That's unfortunate, because this is kind of where it starts getting really interesting. One of my favorite areas is coming up, that is the Abyss of Thor, but for today we will probably not quite reach the Abyss of Thor. I think we are going to the White Forest, and then, let's see, a Scion Kick. Looks fancy. Let's use Bulb Crash. Interesting. Basically just a lightning bolt, but with a Scion double kick added to it. It doesn't look that interesting. Either way, I feel like I was saying some stuff. Oh yeah, one of my favorite areas is coming up with the Abyss of Thor, and as I said, we are not going to quite reach that yet. I think this is a nice session for now. I'm actually going to start using holy bottles to speed up the process just a little bit. But yeah, it's actually really fascinating. In terms of just mood and setting and ambience and design, it doesn't even have much in it. It's just the mood it sets is so fascinating to me. Oh, those lilies barely take any damage. Did I equip a halberd instead of a mecha halberd by chance? At this rate, I will almost certainly master Blade Storm after this. That's a double hit at the end there. That's actually better than a regular double kick. Didn't master Blade Storm yet, but soon it should master it. Greetings to you, Tiago Welcome. Hope you're doing well. So this is where, once more, if you manage to skip into Dao's castle by running away from the boss battle, this is where you get stuck, because you have to re-enter the Valhalla Plains in order to get to the White Forest. So this is basically preventing me from skipping about 15 minutes of gameplay in a speedrun. And the thing is, it's not even a good thing to skip, because if you skip that specific part, where you just go through Dao's castle directly, you would actually not have indignation. And you know, the strategy I just used against Dao's earlier is the exact same one that I use against Dao's in my speedrun. It's reasonably fast, but most of all it's safe and simple-ish to use. It's kind of crazy to do this differently. I probably could do it by meeting some other preparations, maybe with other stuff, but, well. Greetings to you, Durant. Welcome. Good afternoon to you as well. I'm having an excellent day, I hope so do you. I'm going to get into an encounter here real quick. I just want to master Blade Storm. I think we are really close to it. Oh, there, these guys love attacking and lightning bolting at the same time. The Clarf is petrified. Yeah, paralyzed. Blade Storm Master, Psystorm can be used, Tempest can be used. Alrighty, I want to see what Tempest and Psystorm look like real quick before we go in here. So Scion Storm is Scion Bolt and Blade Storm, and Tempest is Lightning Bolt and Blade Storm. So I'm actually really curious about Tempest, mainly because Tempest in Tales of Symphonia is pretty much my favorite ability of the entire game. It looks so awesome, it's so nice to use. It's not even that useful against most enemies, but it's just so fancy. So, alrighty, let's see. Where are we? Okay, 2 Chimeras. I need to get them far enough away from them to use that. Scion Storm! Well, never mind then. So basically he just adds a little demon fang at the end there. Which... Get away from me, I can't use my ranged abilities if you're that close. Rude. There, Tempest. Alright. I mean, it's a ranged ability to use Blade Storm in a sense. Not bad. It's not bad, but I don't think it's necessarily all that great. Oh, we just learned Air's Laugh. Now, Air's Laugh is an interesting one. What Air's Laugh does is heals you. That's it. It's actually a really inefficient heal overall. And as long as you have Mint with you, it's not all that great, but it could potentially have some use later. Either way, I'm going to go back to using Lightning Bolt and Phoenix, I think. Actually, you know what? I'm going to keep Tempest. This might actually be useful. But I also want to replace Blade Storm with Fury Slash again. And I'm also going to equip here my... Oh. Oh. I already sold my Moon Phaluxes, all of them. I wanted to use one more. Alright, let's go through here. Is this the forest where the unicorn lives? It could be. Min, what is it? Mint, what are you thinking? The unicorn will only meet the purest of girls. I'm so excited, a unicorn. This forest looks safe enough. Why don't you girls go without us? Can I just stay here and hang out with you guys? Crest doesn't understand. Cloudfish just laughing. Oh, fine. Let's go, Mint. And this is the one time you actually straight up control Mint. It's actually really neat. Rabbit! Oh, they don't make sounds. You also can't interact with them, unfortunately. So, the White Forest is... Well, there's no random encounters. But there's mushrooms. Found a medicinal herb. It looks like a mushroom to me. Those medicinal herbs are trading goods. You can sell them in certain cities for a lot of value. Like a lot of value. A lot of value. So I'm just going to pick them up, because I know where they are. And Green Stew Jintatsu. This is a fan translation, so it's basically a ROM hack in a sense, but other than that it plays exactly like the original. This also works on console. I am playing currently on console on an ST2 SNES. So, works quite fine. Also, I mean, this is hard mode as well. Hard mode is actually built-in mode into the game. If you press all face buttons, X, Y, B and A at the same time when selecting a new game, you actually get into hard mode for this game. So, I guess it's not entirely standard game, but it's very close to it. The White Forest is actually pretty... Oh, hi. Small, I wanted to say. I'll head back this way, and you can go that way, Mint. Archie, where are you going? Wait, come back. She's gone. I wonder what happens when you actually go back, because I actually have no idea. Can you find Archie again? Archie, come on. Don't be silly like that. Archie. I'm going to look somewhere else, okay? Mint is just confused. What is going on, Archie? I'm just curious what happens when I go back to the guys. Hi. Can we get out of here now? Sure. Where did Archie go? Let's go find her. And she just goes on her own. I was just curious whether there's more interaction between the characters.
Oh, there it is. Suddenly I'm afraid. Excuse me? I knew you'd come. What can I do for you? Oh, Unicorn, it's been my dream to meet you. But there's no point. I need your help. Nothing to do. Yeah. When they get back, do you want to see the forest for yourself? Whatever. Anyway what? Cress, are you an item or what? I don't know, she's so... What's wrong? I feel an evil presence nearby. What the... So, you see, I need your help. Don't you believe me? You have to believe me. The fate of our world is riding upon this. Whoa. Look out.
Dal sends his best wishes for your death.
Let's go, hurry up. Hurry up, and I don't even have jet boots equipped. Ah. So, you have two options. You can actually go and recruit Archie back in your party, or you can just go straight for recruiting Min. Archie is in 3 different spots, so she's kind of difficult to miss. But we're going just straight for helping Mint here. We don't have time for that. Mint! Alrighty, and here we have a battle with 3 demons. Luna is actually better than Maxwell in this very specific instance. They are weak to light damage. And Luna just looks so happy to use lasers. It's amazing. Deals about 2000 damage to each one of those enemies. If I still had the Moonfallox, I would actually use that to more or less destroy all the evil lords without any trouble. In a speedrun, sometimes you get a Moonfallox, sometimes you don't. If you don't get a Moonfallox, you actually do go and get Archie briefly. Just for the firestorm that she provides you with. It's really good. But yeah, Luna is sufficient anyways, we don't have to worry too much, and Luna gets at least her time to shine a little bit, so that's really nice too. Flare bottle to increase my attack by 30%. Bam! Bit gained a level, Clark in the level, and another one. 3 rune bottles acquired. Alrighty, we defeated them. Laser. Mint. Mint, are you alright? I'll be okay. Is everyone okay? What was all that about? Please, wake up! I believe you. Oh, Unicorn, why? You have a pure heart, but I need to change in order to help you, Mint. Receive the unicorn's horn. You have the power of the unicorn now. Let's go save the tree. I can feel the power radiating from the horn. Then what are we waiting for? Archie, where have you been? I thought that the unicorn would refuse to see me. What makes you think that? Because, well, once there was this guy and... And what?
And you know, so I thought the unicorn wouldn't see me. Whatever, let's just go and save the Tree of Life already.
Crash just doesn't understand. That's okay.
Stand back, everyone. This is going to be the most powerful spell I'll ever cast. Nurse.
Whoa, what's happening?
The unicorn's power. I can't control it.
Mint, get away from the horn!
No, if I stop now, the unicorn's power will be wasted. And then we'll never save Martel.
Mint!
Mother, lend me your strength. I need you.
Is everyone okay? Well, it looks like it's worked.
Look, the tree is healed.
Mint, you did it!
Way to go, Mint.
I feel like great power returning. Is this your doing?
It wasn't me. The unicorn lent me his power to heal you. Don't be so modest. Martel, you should have seen her. She was amazing.
It was all you, Mint. I can't thank you enough. I will work to restore mana. Mana is still weakened, but it can be restored.
She disappeared. I wanted to learn so much from her, or more from her.
She is a magical spirit and lives on a plane of existence that we can only dream about. We need to preserve mana so this never happens again.
Maybe.
What's on your mind, Chris?
I just thought of something.
Do you think it's possible that Daos attacked Midgard in order to preserve mana's power?
So he could use it for himself?
It makes sense. If he controlled all the magic, he'd be invulnerable. Well, the only one who can answer that is Daos. Then let's make our way to Thor and find Daos. This is the hour. And this is indeed where we're going to be heading to the Abyss of Thor. But ladies and gentlemen, this is going to be it from me for today, for Tales of Phantasia. I hope you enjoyed this little episode. Oh, those poor bugbears don't stand a chance. And well, we will be soon heading over to, as I said, theme-wise my favorite area of the entire game, Abyss of Thor, and then probably a little bit further. I will also want to make sure that there is nothing that I'm going to be missing before we go to the Abyss of Thor, so, well, we'll see. By the way, in case you're wondering, yes, you could go to the Abyss of Thor before going anywhere else, if you really wanted to. But then you would notice that, well, it wouldn't work, and you would see why. Ladies and gentlemen, this is it from me for today for Tales of Phantasia. Once again, thank you very much for watching, for listening, and for lurking, and, well, hopefully until next time. Take care.